Sports Star, KTFM Floresville, San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Thunder have taken a 2-0 lead over the Minnesota Timberwolves with last night's 118-103 win. Game 3 set for tomorrow from Minnesota. You can catch that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 7 o'clock. Tonight, it's Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Pacers stole Game 1 in Madison Square Garden in overtime. New York looking to even things up before they head back to Indy. Tip-off set for 7. We get you started at 6:30.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, my goodness, we have made it. It's Friday. And not only is it Friday, we are live at the Lion and Rose, their I-10 Dominion location, and we got all kinds of stuff we're going to give away. This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. That's Jason Minix. In the flesh, sitting right there.
Friday at the Lion and Rose. And you think about the Lion and Rose. They were here, then they went away for a while, and they built this brand new building out here by the Dominion. And it is spectacular here. The Lion and Rose, I-10, Bernie Stage Road.
I'll tell you what, it's really easy to get to you. If you're coming from town, you exit Dominion, the exit, and go through the light, and it's right here on the access road. Easy to get to. You need to come out and party with us. There's so much going on. The happy hour is incredible, Minix.
Oh, what's on the happy hour?
The happy hour. Look at this. You got draft beer, $2.50. That's pretty good. Well drinks, $5. Select imports, $5. Select wine, $5. $6, I should say. They even have mimosas for $4.
Nice. Happy hour going on. We've got a lot of prizes to give away.
We do.
You want to go see the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders on Sunday at the Majestic? We could do that. On Sunday, just down from the Majestic, is the Aztec Theater, and that is where the Four Horsemen are going to be playing, that Metallica tribute band. We've got tickets for that to give away.
Not to mention the fact, I think we kind of made a deal that we've got one last person we need to get registered or confirmed, or however you say it.
Qualified.
Yes. For those ACL tickets or wristbands to go up there. 3-day wristbands, by the way.
I've got an idea on how we can do that.
Let's hear it.
We're here at the Lion and Rose. We want somebody to come in here. If you come in here, you've got a chance to get qualified. We're not going to do a phone call, a random thing on YouTube, nothing like that. You have to physically come to the Lion and Rose. And we saw something earlier today that is a rare sighting, and we want to see that again. Now, we were watching the Weenie 500 earlier. That took place up there in Indianapolis. Greg Shelton actually smiled watching those weenies going around the track. A little concerning, but he did smile. If you can come in here, get grumpy-ass Greg Shelton to smile, your name goes into the hat to be qualified for ACL wristbands.
That's a tough thing to do.
I mean, look, they're ACL 3-day wristbands.
I hear you.
Those are, you can't buy them anymore. They're already sold out. So there is a challenge there. He's at the Lion and Rose. There's reasons to smile here. If you can get Greg to smile, you get that last spot qualifying.
Not even, just think of a good dad joke, something. I mean, you can get him to smile some way, shape, or form. Use your imagination, but you can get it done. And you need to get it done because we're going to be qualifying somebody probably in the 4 o'clock hour.
Yeah, by 4. Between
right,
now and
4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
Okay, perfect. And then we'll pick a winner or a survivor, as it were, at the last segment of the show, about 5:30-ish.
Yes.
Right in that area.
Does that work?
That works, yeah.
That works.
Works for me.
Now, as I don't think an idea through, what happens if nobody can actually get Greg to smile?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's a challenge. You don't get tickets, you get qualified.
Yeah. Well, you do get a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom.
Absolutely.
Greg does have a little bit of control in that, I suppose. So if you've been around and kind of a jerk, you're probably not going to get him to smile. I'm just saying, there is a lot of possibilities that could be in play here, but it is a worthy prize of trying to get Greg Shelton to smile.
You know, the secret is, and I shouldn't say this, but the last time, maybe the one time that I've seen him smile, it was a nice little young lady, about 12 years old.
Okay, that works.
Who smiled at him, and he couldn't resist that smile.
And there was another lady who was not young. She was of age.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
She had a couple of
reasons to smile.
Yes. And gave him a good squeeze, and he got a smile.
Yes. So that works too.
Yeah, boobs.
There are no rules here.
No.
Whatever it takes to make Shelton smile, that's all that it matters. That's it. So come on out and do that.
We could get somebody qualified at 2:15 or at I don't know, close to 4 between now and then. Come in, make Greg smile. You don't even have to capture it on film because we're sitting right here. We can see.
We're witnesses.
Yeah, but we saw him earlier smiling during the Weenie 500, which was less than thrilling.
Dude, I don't know, man. I thought that was one of the best things I've ever seen. That was the coolest thing. Now, it wasn't thrilling because those things don't go too fast, but I'm a little pissed off that the Texas Wiener didn't win.
Chili Dog.
The Chili Dog didn't win. He got beat like at the last minute.
Now, Chili Dog had the lead. And what I don't understand, and for those of you into NASCAR, you understand racing. And, it's the Weenie 500. And, there was no rubbing in this one. But Chili Dog had the lead. He's got rear view mirrors, right? And at some point when the Slaw Dog was coming up the left side, all he had to do was veer over a little bit. He could have protected that lead.
Well,
this was a non-contact race. Well, once it got kind of parallel, I mean, those, we're talking about footlongs here. I mean, there was time when he was there to just kind of slow him down a little bit. But no, I mean, talk about a race in slow motion. That's kind of what it felt like. It was like turtle races.
It really was, but it was kind of cool to see those Wienermobiles out there. There were 6 of them. And Chili Dog led for the whole way. Well, until the very end.
I mean, he had the lead, then he lost the lead, and then the dog that took the lead blew an engine.
Had engine problems.
He overcooked the hot dog, man, and it just kind of started smoking, and yeah.
That was a thrilling deal. I like that. I hope they make that a tradition. Although I'm sure Oscar Mayer paid a small fortune that happen out there. So whatever it takes. But that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. A lot of fun.
Yeah. On our YouTube page, a couple of things going on. Greg Shelton does have some say in this and very little. Sam wants to know if touching is allowed and trying to make Greg smile.
No touching, according to Shelton.
I mean, but that's not a hard and fast rule. Well, I mean, it really isn't. Not for Greg.
Somebody going to come up here and try to tickle him? He's not ticklish, I don't think. Are you ticklish?
He's ticklish.
He's not ticklish.
He's ticklish. Give him a little poke in the side. He'll smile. I'm just saying, Sam. And Sam is one of those names that could be male or female. But if you're a male Sam, I'm guessing no touching is allowed. If you're a female Sam,
and you have 2 reasons to make Greg smile,
I'm saying,
you can touch him.
I mean, there really are no rules.
No, there's not.
And if you are on our YouTube page, we have a poll up. Are you following the Dallas Stars playoff run? You could vote in our poll, and we'd like you to here on YouTube. I also have the same poll question up on Twitter at Jason Minix. I think you can also find it at SA Sports Star. If not, Pledge will retweet it. Not sure if Joe's going to participate because it's hockey, and we all know he's not following. But Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals is tonight. And it's interesting because, like, I'm a well-known hockey fan. The number of people that have reached out on social media wanting to ask hockey questions or talk hockey because you kind of feel like, you're in a group alone. Who else are you going to cheer with when, things are happening? I'm just curious from an audience standpoint, how many of you are actually following hockey? Not that we're going to turn this into a hockey show or have daily hockey segments, but, how interested are you? I'm just curious now.
Well, I'm kind of curious too. And truth be told, I now that the Stars are in there, I might check it out tonight. Who knows? I mean, I'll be watching the Knicks and Indiana, but
you could go split screen.
I guess I could. It depends. Because I'll be honest with all of you. Dude, I haven't done well in the last 2 games. I've lost them both.
Mm-hmm.
I got some making up to do tonight.
Mm-hmm. I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
I took Minnesota +8 yesterday.
Ooh.
They just can't handle.
I told you.
They cannot handle.
I was afraid of that line, but I liked the under, and that was okay.
Yeah, well. 8. I thought 8. 8. You figure Minnesota was. I mean, they're in the Western Conference Finals. You don't think that they're going to get smoked every game, but they have.
Yep. They have.
It's unbelievable. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. We're out here at the Lion and Rose, the I-10 Dominion location. You need to come out here and see us and try and get qualified for those ACL wristbands that we're going to be giving away at the end of the show today. You got to come in here, try to get grumpy-ass Greg Shelton to smile, which is hard to do, but use your imagination and you can get it done. I know you can get it done. So he does smile on occasion, I promise.
He is smiling now.
He is smiling now.
I can't tell you what Nick Trey just did to make him smile because HR might be listening, but it did get him to smile.
He opened his shirt, didn't he?
That wasn't the shirt.
It wasn't the shirt? So was he laughing or smiling? Because if it was something else, that could mean a lot of different things.
Did I tell you about the Weenie 500?
I love wieners. Yes, absolutely. And I love that wiener race. That was awesome. That was awesome. Hey, CeeDee Lamb, he played a lot hurt last year. I love that when players do that, when pro players do that. But CeeDee Lamb did that, and he had a bad shoulder issue that he injured a couple of times during the season and played through it. I like that. We're going to talk about that. We'll hear from CeeDee Lamb as well. Lion and Rose, the I-10 Dominion location, that's where we are. We got stuff to give you. We're bribing you to get out here, so get on out here and get it done. This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We had so much fun last week, we're doing it again. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up once more to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends. More big-time artists than at Texas Tailgate during rodeo season. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th. Right up the road in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Fade, and a whole mess of other artists turned up Zilker Park into the biggest backyard party in Texas. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz all this week for another shot to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We'll crown one lucky winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, 3-day ACL wristbands. Now, that's a South Texas trifecta. Grand Slam in the bottom of the 9th. Want to skip the contest and buy your way in? Head to aclfest.com. But we say, why pay when you can win? With 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
My name's John Clay Wolf. I'm the founder of GimmeTheVin.com. Every month, for the next 10 months, everyone that sells us their car to GimmeTheVin.com will get put in a drawing for a $25,000 winner. We're going to pull one of you out of a hat, and somebody's going to win $25,000. So we're paying more, and you might win $25,000. GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's Best Car Buyer for nothing.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
You know, the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and respect. A firm backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients. If you've been injured, trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
Cool. Oh, hi. Welcome to IKEA. How can I help? Isn't this the parking lot of my daughter's ballet class? It sure is, but I see you're on IKEA.com ordering some spring items.
Yeah, I'm hosting a barbecue this week. I completely forgot and need everything.
With delivery or pickup options, we've got what you need to conveniently order IKEA literally anywhere.
Convenient. Wait, where are you going?
The next car over just placed an IKEA order too. Busy morning.
You're amazing.
Get IKEA whenever, wherever, however you want. Order from IKEA online and get affordable delivery or choose from thousands of pickup locations.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames, because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster, which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame. And if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You know what, Jason? That sounds like Simple Plan.
Does it?
It does.
Does it?
Yes.
Did you know that, or is because it's written right there?
I got nothing right here. Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm a Simple Plan connoisseur.
Are you?
Hey, I'm a Lion and Rose connoisseur. That's for sure. That's right. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This is the Blitz. We are live at the Lion and Rose, the I-10 Dominion location, and you can be here too. Great happy hour specials they've got going on. Food and drink, by the way. It is a great happy hour. So get on out here, and we're trying to get you to qualify for the ACL wristbands. All you got to do is make grumpy-ass Greg Shelton smile.
You could do that, but right now while Simple Plan is playing, why don't we give away tickets to go see Simple Plan?
We could do that, too.
We can do that. Simple Plan playing at the 713 Music Hall on September 5th. Let's give them a caller number 12 right now. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You know who's playing with Simple Plan?
No, who's playing?
Bowling for Soup.
Is that the 1985 guys?
Is this 1985?
Is it? Yes, it is. Apparently, that's a consensus here. Yeah. Since 1985.
Uh-huh.
It was a great year, by the way.
It was.
Yeah.
Do you remember 1985?
Great year. Well, vaguely.
Yeah.
I mentioned I was a knucklehead back in the 80s.
Yeah, you're still a knucklehead.
Well, not quite as knuckleheadish as I was.
It's true. What did we say, caller 12?
I believe you did. Yeah, caller 12.
You know, here at Lion and Rose, one of the menus they handed us is it's the Bon Appetit menu. You can bring your dog here, right? You can bring your dog here. There's a menu for your dog. They got barking beef patties, the veggie wag bowl, chicken chop delight, or a cloud delight, which is fluffy swirls of whipped cream served in a bowl.
That sounds delicious. Can I get that?
I mean, you are a dog.
I want to get that. Whipped cream in a bowl, that'd be awesome. I could probably order that, couldn't I? Sure, why not?
I mean, they'll sell you anything. They'll look at you funny, but they'll sell it to you.
Dude, they've got a great outdoor area here.
Uh-huh.
They really do. They've got a great outdoor area, so you can get out there and the dog can do whatever the dog does out there.
What do dogs do out there?
Well, I don't know. I hope they just run around and not do anything else.
Looking for barflies?
I don't see any yet in here. Do you? But if there were, I tell you what, there's some great specials going. Hey, draft beer $2.50, well drinks $5, select imports $5, wine $6. You can get mimosas for $4, and they got food specials too. Fried pickles, jalapenos, mushrooms, all $5 when you come out here to the Lion and Rose. The I-10 location, right by the Dominion exit.
The Cowboys wrapping up their OTAs. And it's interesting as you think about this part of the NFL schedule. You know, it's late May, then the mini camps will be next month. And then before you know it, we're going to be in Oxnard, California, ready for training camp. And, it's weird. If we go back a year, it was a weird offseason a year ago for the Dallas Cowboys. Uh-huh. It was a weird training camp. You and I both talked about it. We've experienced many, 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 many training camps. And just the vibe, everything about Cowboys camp last year was weird. And then it was a weird season with injuries and no playoffs. And this offseason has felt very different. The new coach, everything that Schottenheimer's trying to do. Yet, when you look at the odds makers, there's not a lot of respect, if you will, on the Cowboys, which is strange.
Why is that strange?
Well, I say, I mean, generally speaking, you look at what happened last year and what you're expected to do this year. And, you look at all the win totals and, right now, the Cowboys at 7.5, which seems really, really low, considering if Dak Prescott, in the seasons Dak Prescott has played at least 12 games, they've always had winning records.
Okay.
A healthy Dak Prescott has only missed the playoffs twice, and that was under Jason Garrett. And you look at all the things that Dallas has done this offseason. Their draft was considered good. Their activity in free agency. The front office has gotten a lot of accolades. A lot of the NFL experts and national analysts crediting Jerry and company for the roster they put together. They make the move for George Pickens, and they're getting healthy. Yet Vegas is like, 7.5 wins.
Well, I think there's reasons for that, honestly. First of all, you got a brand new head coach that has never been a head coach before. So you don't know what he's going to do. He's doing all the right things right now, but we're not into the heat of the battle yet. And then you've got some guys. So a lot of the free agent moves they made were guys that didn't really work out where they were before. So Jerry's bringing them in to give them another shot. All of them were high draft picks, but they just didn't work out where they were drafted. So they're getting a second shot with the Dallas Cowboys. Look, I think their offense is going to be as good as anybody. If everybody, again, but you can say that for every team, everybody stays healthy.
Sure.
That Cowboys offense should be pretty damn good. Still some questions on the defensive side of the ball, but I still see them as third in the division as we sit right here.
Well, and I think that's fair. I mean, Philadelphia won the Super Bowl last year, and they didn't get worse. Washington made it to the NFC Championship game last year. The only question is, does Jaden Daniels have a bit of a sophomore slump? Washington, you look at what the Command Skins did last year. They won a lot of games late. They won a lot of one-score games.
They did.
Typically, those things even out over time. So, but again, to pick the Cowboys ahead of Washington or Philadelphia right now would be asinine. So, I think they've got the fourth worst odds to make the playoffs out of the NFC. Teams like the Giants and the Saints and Carolina are behind them, and that's it. And that doesn't seem to make sense, because don't you base everything this time of year on having a healthy team? Most don't say, because I think that goes with everybody. If Patrick Mahomes gets hurt early in the season, chances are Kansas City's not going to the Super Bowl. If Josh Allen gets hurt, chances are they're not going to win every game, even though they're favored right now to win every game. So it's almost as if the odds makers have said that they expect Dak to get hurt again, or CeeDee Lamb won't recover. And CeeDee Lamb, he was talking this week about his shoulder being healed. He feels really good right now.
Oh, man. The longest, I want to say a good 5 months of real recovery and rehab. I don't know. I'm grateful to have 2 arms. I can tell you that. So.
Well, and again, I mean, that one arm was bad. And apparently that shoulder was a lot more damaged than we all realized hearing him talk about it. But he's feeling great, as healthy as he's been. So a healthy Cowboys team with this offense that we're all talking about. You added in George Pickens. You improved the offensive line. There's a semblance of a real run game. 30 points a game is the expectation, or around that. Yet 7.5 wins now in a 17-game schedule. Do you see this offense really losing 10 games?
Well, I don't. To answer your question, no, I don't. But there are still a lot of unknowns. And I think that's what they're going by. Look, if it's 7.5, I'd take the over on that in a heartbeat. I would bet that because I think the Cowboys will win more than 7.5 games. Plus, you got to look at their schedule, Jason. I mean, that schedule's brutal.
Yep.
They've got, and especially in the middle of the season, they got a brutal stretch in there. So I think all of those things, you take that into consideration. The Cowboys are one of these teams, though, that I don't think anybody is sitting back saying that, like we are, that their offense is going to be this and their offense is going to be that. There's still some questions on that offensive line. Tyler Guyton, is he going to improve? Terrence Steele, is he going to be better? You've got a rookie in Booker. How's he going to be? Everybody thinks he's going to be good, but he hasn't played a snap in the NFL. So I think just giving Vegas a little bit of a break, I think that there's just a lot of unknowns that they're not talking about or not that they don't know. And so they're hedging their bets a little bit on the low side.
Well, I mean, let's face it. Vegas is in the business to make money. So if this were 8.5 or 9.5, don't you think a lot more money would be coming in on both sides, right? 7.5 just feels like, yeah, they're going to win 8 games. And also with 17 games, is the baseline still 10 wins? Remember, it used to be if you have 10 wins, man, you've had a really good year. I kind of look at it now. If you've got 12 wins, you've had a really good year. 10 wins might not get you into the playoffs.
May not.
And so, kind of like the 1,000-yard at rusher. It's not the same today as it was when Emmitt Smith was running for 1,000 yards or Barry Sanders was running for 1,000 yards. Now, in 17 games, if you 100 yards or 1,000-yard rusher, that's under 100 a game. It just, things are different. It just feels like Vegas is, it's Vegas. So where's the sucker bet, right?
Well, maybe the sucker bet is betting the Cowboys over 7.5.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. They know. Look, when I went through the schedule when it came out last week, you were gone, but I think I had 10 wins for the Cowboys. It's just looking at it. And picking right away, I came up with 10-7. So judging by what I just said on the schedule and looking at it, I would take the over in that thing. And I think 10 wins is I think, realistic. And I think that's fair when you're looking at that Dallas Cowboys schedule and still all the unknowns that are out there.
And 10 wins might not get you into the playoffs.
May not.
And might not be enough to win the NFC East because you kind of figure Philly's going to be there. Then you also look at Washington, bit of an unknown, and we know the Cowboys. They're always going to win a game they have no business winning, and they're going to lose a game they have no business losing. So those always seem to cancel out.
Arizona.
So, I mean, the other part, though, is, it's like this week, Dak Prescott, number 17 on that PFF ranking, yet Jalen Hurts was at number 6. I know Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl, but last year when Philadelphia was struggling, it was even A.J. Brown, Eagles wide receiver, when asked what's wrong with the offense, he said passing game, right? I mean, when you look at the one knock on that Eagles offense all last year up until the NFC Championship game in the Super Bowl, all the questions were about Jalen Hurts. And Saquon Barkley was running that team there, but now he's number 6 on that list.
Well, I make that make sense because it doesn't to me. I mean, you got to give him his credit because he's a sure. Super Bowl champion, right? But Saquon Barkley, I think, added the spark to that team that they needed, and that defensive line. That defensive line was brutal last year. It was a beast. So they've got a lot of those players back. Can they run it back? We'll see. Washington, I would put them in the same category, honestly, as the Cowboys. There's a lot of unknowns there. You mentioned the sophomore slump for Daniels. That could certainly be. I think Deebo Samuel makes somewhat of a difference, I think, but I still think they're lacking a little bit in the running game. There's been talk that they're interested in Chubb. There's also a couple of other running backs that they could be interested in bringing in before training camp. So they've got some question marks as well. But and everybody can laugh at me if they want. I think the New York Giants are going to be better this year. Not saying they're going to
better than what?
Better than they were last year, okay?
Fair.
Which is not a high bar, but I think they're going to be better. I think Russell Wilson makes a difference. Just Russell Wilson alone and the leadership and the veteran presence that he is, he's going to make that team a little bit better. They're not going to be the pushover that they were last year.
Well,
so
defensively, I think they've got a chance to be really, really good.
And there you go. And that, too, they have improved their defense. So, look, it's going to be a great division. And I think all those division games are going to be difficult if you just split those things. You know, I think you're doing the right thing, and that's typically what happens in the NFC East. Right?
Cannot wait.
Hey, we're in the Lion and the Rose, the Dominion location. All you do, if you're coming from town, you exit Dominion right there, stay on the access road through the light, and you'll see us right here. It is a big, beautiful building. We're going to be out here till 6 o'clock. There's happy hour specials going on. We've got prizes to give away. Nick Trey is here. The promotions genius is standing by to get you registered and some prizes there. And if you can make Greg Shelton smile, that's all you have to do. You're going to qualify for the 3-day wristbands to the ACL. So I tell you what, it is a lot going on out here at the Lion and the Rose. Plus, they're going to feed you for cheap and get you drunk for cheap. You can't beat that. Just do that. Come on out and see us here at the Lion and the Rose, the I-10 Dominion location. When we come back, is LeBron James going to return next year? His agent says, I don't know. We'll talk about that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Want to tell you, though, about my friends at Stevens Roofing because summer is heating up, man. It is hot here in South Texas. Only going to get hotter, right? So you want to make sure that you're ready, kind of like having a great defense. That can make all the difference, especially when it comes to your roof. You know, those triple-digit temperatures, well, they're no joke. The heat can crack, it can warp, it can loosen your shingles. You know, that's a tough line to say, loosen your shingles. But it can do that, and it leads to leaks, high energy bills, and expensive repairs. That's why now is the time to call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Local company, family-owned company, and built for South Texas conditions. They know how to play tough in extreme heat. In fact, their experienced team will inspect your roof for free. They'll make sure it's sealed, secure, and energy efficient. So you're protected for the long haul. They do metal, they do composition, they do commercial, they do residential. Stevens Roofing can do it all. 210-785-0994, or you can visit stevensroofing.net to schedule that free inspection. Stevens Roofing and Solar, keeping your roof in top shape so you don't get caught off guard when the heat throws its best pitch.
Hey, How long has it been since you ditched work for something actually worth it? Emails can wait. Zoom meetings? Forget about them. Skip the 9 to 5 for 9 innings. We're sending you to the ballpark instead. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is giving away pairs of tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the St. Louis Cardinals Friday, May 30th at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Listen to the Blitz all this week. Jason and Joe will drop a ditch phrase during the show every day. When you hear it, be the first caller at 646-ESPN and win the tickets. And maybe don't mention it to your boss. Hey, you're not playing hooky. Bueller. You're honoring America's pastime. Ditch work for the Diamond with South Texas home for the Texas Rangers. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-298-2007. That's 800-298-2007. 800-298-2007.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
How is it you not buckle? Cammy, we're not going far. Mm-hmm. You must be my dumbest grandkid. But I know these roads well. Mm-hmm. This big old truck will protect me and you. Mm-hmm. Ugh. Am I gonna get a ticket? Mm-hmm.
Save the excuses. Buckle up and avoid a fine up to $200. Click it or ticket. Day and night.
Mm-hmm.
A message from TxDOT.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
When you think of hot, you might think about the tragic time you ate too much wasabi. Oh, no. Or about getting into your car on a summer day when it feels more like stepping into a sauna. But heat can work in your favor, like during Verizon Red Hot Deal Days. Get hundreds of hot deals on all your favorites, like iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence, Apple Watch Series 10, and iPad on any plan. Only until May 28th for new and existing customers. Offer available on My Plan. Only at Verizon.
The Lion and Rose at the Dominion, your daily happy hour spot from 3 till 7 p.m. 250 drafts, wine, wells, and bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Lion and Rose at 23330 West I-10.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, sun-tanned or sunburnt, smell of the coconut oil, and talking basketball. Get here early. The summer is beginning. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Now that's a good song.
That is.
Dude, do you have the number for the Guinness Book of World Records?
I do.
We need to call them because something happened during the break that I can't believe just happened. Grumpy Greg Shelton smiled.
He did.
So
now
we have a qualifier.
Yeah, we do. David David reached deep into the bag of tricks because, I mean, you're hearing Kingdom Collapse and Unbreakable, and that's generally Greg Shelton and a smile. But this dude, and David, all the credit in the world, he walks in and he's got something stuck underneath his shirt. And he's like, "You're grumpy?" And I'm thinking, what the hell is going on here? And he pulls out, he stopped at HEB and he got a thing of Danishes. And he showed those tasty treats to Greg and he started smiling and said, "You win." First he said, "Are those for me?" "Yeah, I'm keeping them." "You win."
You win.
And now they're sitting over there. Greg is guarding them like a guard dog. Didn't offer to share. Didn't say, "Do you guys want one?" Well, he didn't tell the dude, "I appreciate it. You win, but I can't take those." No, Greg's like, hell yeah. Bribery is allowed. Greg is breakable. No longer unbreakable. Then right after that, another dude walks in, longtime listener, big Cowboy fan, and he got Greg to smile too.
Dude, unbelievable. That's what I'm saying. There's something. Is it like the end of the world? Is this like...
it's a holiday weekend?
Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But my goodness.
And all I know is a dude said to Greg, as a group of ladies walked in, he said, "There's some over there that would get you to smile." And Greg started laughing and said, "Yes, sir." So we've got our qualifiers now for the 3-day Weekend 2 ACL wristbands. We will announce the winner. We will have a drawing. They are on the Wheel of Death. All 5 names are on the Wheel of Death. Between 5:30 and 6, we're going to eliminate 4 names. One person is going to win those 3-day Weekend 2 wristbands for ACL.
Dude, I'm still blown away. That was just like, you see things you just don't believe it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of those times.
Yeah.
I just didn't believe it was happening.
Greg, can you pass the box of Danishes over here for our audience on YouTube? I just want to see if he'll actually let Joe.
Oh, he almost dropped.
Don't spill them.
Wow.
And now you got to. Yeah, he's got to retighten them down. Yeah. See, he's already been digging in.
Dude,
I mean, we're here at the Line and Rose. They've got plenty of desserts.
Dude, I'll tell you what, that smells good.
These HEB Danishes.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see this. These look delicious.
Yeah, hold them up a little bit more.
Well, I don't want to smash them.
You're not going to smash them. I mean, who the hell cares?
More, huh?
Greg doesn't care.
Well,
you're the TV pro. You understand product placement.
No, there it
HEB
is, right
Bakery,
there.
We should send you a bill.
We should.
Their logo is front and center there. Those Danishes look good. So put that in your hat. Because at some point when we do this contest again, we know boobs and baked goods make Greg smile.
That's the way to do it. That was genius, by the way, by that last guy. That was absolutely genius.
I just don't know that I want. I was a little nervous because those are pressed up against his bare belly, right underneath his shirt.
They're
in case, but the effort was there.
That was fantastic.
Well played.
Yeah, it was well played. Absolutely fantastic. So I like how you guys think outside the box, so to speak. That was awesome. The Minnesota Timberwolves ought to start thinking outside the box, Jason, because they have no answer for Oklahoma City. None. I was expecting a closer game, and SGA said, "Hey, I'm the MVP, and I'm about to show you why."
Well, and SGA was phenomenal last night, although little bit slow start after the ceremony and everything that was going on. Their halftime, I thought Minnesota made a lot of good adjustments to start the game, and that was a great basketball game in the first half. The third quarter, it was all Oklahoma City Thunder. Whatever adjustments they're making, whatever's going on at halftime, because that is, it's game 2, and in both games, the third quarters have been the difference maker, and the fourth quarter has essentially been for fun. I know Minnesota made a little bit of a run, but it was never in doubt. Oklahoma City doesn't get near enough credit for their defense, even though they're known as a great defensive team. But Rudy Gobert, dude, you got to give more than 5 points. Julius Randle, he had 6 points on 2 of 11 shooting. Anthony Edwards played a good game last night, but he can't do it by himself.
No, he can't. But he was not good from the three-point stripe. Again, Minnesota not good from the three-point line. They've got to be better from there. Look, going home is going to help them, but down 2-0, and it just looks like to me they have no answer for Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City's on a mission right now, and man, they are playing some good basketball. I can't wait to see Oklahoma City and Indiana in the finals. That's going to be a great series.
Yeah, get ahead of yourself. Because you got that game too tonight. But you think about going back to Minnesota. If you're the Timberwolves, your mindset has to be Oklahoma City did their job. They won those 2 games on their home court. They've got to do the same. Chris Finch said last night essentially the same thing with the message that he has for his team with a couple of home games coming up.
Every minute in the series is a chance to find something. We're going to go back home. This is a good team at home. So we're going to go home and fight for game 3. Heads up and look at the tape and get ready for game 3.
Yeah, the problem is, Coach, is that you just don't have the people. You just don't. Ant is great, but you just don't have the horses to get it done. Rudy Gobert is reminding us he's Rudy Gobert, and he's not playing well. Julius Randle had a great game in game 1, but he was the only one. And you just don't have the horses.
It's the Western Conference Finals. And you're right. Through the first 2 games, it's easy to say Oklahoma City is the better team. They've been the better team all year. But what's amazing is just how dominant Oklahoma City has been in the second halves of both of the first 2 games. In fact, Mark Dagnall, the Oklahoma City coach, was talking about that last night.
He came ready to play, and we knew Minnesota off of game 1 would come out and play the way they did. They were putting us in closeouts. They were passing the ball, and they were sharp early in the game. And it's a pretty predictable thing, but it's not until you get out in the game that you're navigating it, and that's where you need guys to lead And I thought he led tonight just with his approach and his force and his blend. He threw great passes down the stretch. I thought he had a good blend of attacks and early passes, and he kept the scoreboard moving for us down the stretch.
Yeah, look, SGA, there's a reason why he's MVP. Although I've seen a lot of people come out. There's some articles today I was looking at that Joker should have won it. I mean, it's incredible to me. To me, there's no question about it. I mean, this guy has risen, and he's just one of the greatest players in the league right now. He just is.
I mean, sure, Joker could have won it. A couple of people could have won it. But when you are the best player on the best team and you play both ends of the floor, because he's a great defensive player, too.
He is.
This year, he was the MVP. You could make the argument for Joker, and if Joker would have won, I don't think there would have been this great debate. There's always a little bit of a debate anytime somebody wins. Oh, this guy should have won or that guy should have won. That happens every year. But this year, you could make the argument, but the team, Oklahoma City was the best regular season team all year. He's the best player. And you looking at his reaction to all of it, he understands when you win MVP, it's a team award because you're on a great team. You're just the best player on the team, which is why, you could see his teammates' excitement for him when they did the trophy celebration, buying all of those guys Rolexes, because in a lot of ways it is a team award. So I know there's always debate. But sometimes when I hear some people bringing up, oh, he was robbed or this or that, even Mike Malone having to clarify some of his comments. He still loves Joker, and they kind of sounded sour grape-ish at first, but he clarified it. I get it. I get where he's coming from. But at the same time, SGA this year was the MVP.
He was the MVP, and he's showing what a great player that he is. And this Oklahoma City team is deep. They do play defense, and I just think they're on a roll. They are on a roll right now, and you look at Minnesota, and Minnesota had I'm going to say they had an easier time getting here than Oklahoma City did, and I think that makes a difference sometime. That battle with Denver that OKC had, 7-game series, I mean, that gets you battle-ready and battle-tested, and Minnesota's just not up to the task right now. Now, granted, OKC still got to win a couple of more games, but right now it just doesn't look like they have any answer for the Thunder at all.
And did you see? And I guess I didn't realize how good of a friends they were, but there to watch SGA win his MVP was Chris Paul, CP3, who was sitting next to SGA's wife. Did you hear this funny exchange? SGA talking about having CP3 at the building last night.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing. Caught me off guard. I had to, double take. I was like, who's that sitting with my wife? I got a little tight, but then I seen it was Chris. I was like, all right, cool. He's been great, like you said, not only like a big brother, mentor, but just like a friend. He's always there to lean on. He was the first guy in my life that I was, close with that achieved the things that I wanted to achieve. And I really leaned on him for, advice. And not only basketball advice, business advice, taking care of your body advice, handling a family when they don't live with you. There's so many things that you deal with as an NBA player, especially of his caliber, that go under the radar. His guidance with that has been great.
I mean, to take care of your body, Chris Paul, I think, is there. LeBron James could be another mentor for that. But Chris Paul, to be able to play at the level that he's playing at his age, that just goes to show you how well he's taking care of his body.
Yeah, and, the double take. Who's sitting next to my? Oh, okay. I wonder how many NBA players with a reputation that SGA wouldn't have been cool with sitting next to his wife for that whole game.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the way he said that. Who's? Okay, it's Chris. I trust that dude.
Absolutely.
That's pretty funny. You mentioned LeBron James.
Yep.
And there are a couple of interesting LeBron James stories going on right now. One's about the GOAT conversation. One is about his future. Thought it was a little interesting that LeBron's agent was uncommittal when asked about LeBron playing next year.
He was uncommittal. In fact, he was on a show. I can't remember which one he was, but he was asked if LeBron was going to come back and play. And Rich Paul's quote was, "I have no idea." So he doesn't know. But look, LeBron has a player option for next year with the LA Lakers. I think it's $52 million. if he says no to that, then he can become a free agent. But if you're going to do that, you have to assume he wants to play at least a couple more years, you would think. But the Lakers, the outlook for them isn't really bright. So LeBron's got to figure out, does he want to come back and play on a team that is not probably going to be very good next year? Or do you want to ride off into the sunset and go on about your life? So he's got some things to think about.
You make the trade for Luka. So I have a hard time believing that they won't be very good next year. They've got Luka, who single-handedly took Dallas to the finals last year. But they do have to add some pieces. They're going to have a productive offseason, but it is the Lakers. They tend to always attract talent there. And part of me feels like, LeBron, I know you've got the player option, but don't you owe it to the Lakers organization to pick up that option since they drafted Bronny? They took it, and granted, second-round pick, but gave him guaranteed money so that you could play with your son. And they hired your old co-host on your podcast as the head coach. I have a hard time believing LeBron would opt out and sign somewhere else unless he's just chasing a ring, which all right, if that's what he's going to do. But part of me feels like, dude, what do you mean you don't know? You opt in because this thing has all been set up kind of feeling like at your wishes and commands.
Do you really think LeBron gives a damn what the Lakers think or what they feel like he owes them? I don't think he does. And when you look at it, I think both of those things, at least for now, look like mistakes. Obviously, Bronny has no place where he's at right now. No reason to be there. And if he wasn't named James, he wouldn't be there.
Sure.
And then you look at J.J. Redick. I mean, J.J. Redick, you talk about a guy that really showed his inexperience. I mean, it was horrible in the playoffs.
But for the most part, I thought J.J. Redick did a really good job for the majority of the season. It exposed a little bit with some of his coaching early, but there was parts,
and in the playoffs.
But again, first-year head coach is going to make mistakes. I mean, we bitched a lot about Mitch Johnson, yet you heard Pop say he was brilliant as an interim coach. I just look at overall, I thought J.J. Redick showed, okay, you can do this job. Did he make a lot of mistakes seemingly in the playoffs? Not seemingly, yes. He made a lot of mistakes in the playoffs, but I don't necessarily know that I would say hiring him was a mistake for the Lakers.
Why not? When all the other players, all the other coaches you have had an opportunity to hire, J.J. Redick hadn't done anything. I don't know. We'll find out if it was a mistake. I think this year it showed, and it certainly showed in the playoffs that it was a mistake. Now, having Luka, you're right. But look, the Lakers need a lot of pieces because LeBron and Luka couldn't do anything to get the Lakers. They couldn't overcome J.J. Redick, and they couldn't overcome the lapses in defense and the non-shooting from everybody else. So you take LeBron away from that, and you only have Luka. I'm not sure that Luka could do the same thing with the Lakers that he did with the Dallas Mavericks. So right now, I think that team's a mess. So LeBron's got to think about that. Now, again, you got to think about leaving $52 million on the table too, which is another thing. Not that LeBron needs it, for goodness sake. He's a billionaire, but
he needs it.
$52 million is $52 million.
Yeah, but let's face it. Even if he opted out and became a free agent, I don't see him signing anywhere for $30 million. I don't see him doing what Chris Paul did and sign for $11 with San Antonio. But I don't know. I saw that and I was like, that just, to me, it was kind of weird. I kind of feel like, dude, everything they did for you, you're going to opt in and you're going to fulfill your contract.
He's LeBron James. You're supposed to do things like that for LeBron James. You're obligated to do that for LeBron James. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to repay you. Mm-hmm. He's LeBron James, for goodness sake. I wish he'd just ride off into the sunset. It's time.
Another NBA story. Have you ever made a bet so large that your phone app said no?
Yeah, I have not. No, I have not.
Me neither. So I didn't know that there were limits on FanDuel. But according to Charles Barkley, there are limits on FanDuel.
So weird about that series. I thought when they got back to Toronto for Game 7, this is a lot. Well, and that's what I told my bookie. And I told Biz, Game 7 is a lock for Toronto. And to see them lose like that, it was demoralizing as a fan.
Yeah, it was demoralizing.
Do you have a bookie?
No, I don't have a bookie. Do you have a bookie?
I don't have a bookie, no.
No.
There's levels to this.
We might need to get a bookie.
Yeah, I think so.
You want to go halvesy on a bookie?
Let's go halves. Let's go halves on a bookie.
Okay.
I like that.
Hey, FanDuel only lets me bet so much, so
Sure.
I got to have a bookie on the side.
Sure.
Are you trying to get kicked out? You're trying to get kicked out of the stream like Marshall got kicked out of last game.
Well, first off, he must have lost a boatload of money because Toronto got drilled in that Game 7. Or he realized, I've got an endorsement deal with FanDuel. I can't talk about my bookies. So let me throw in that they wouldn't take my bet. But my goodness, how big is your bet if FanDuel or a casino says, no, you've hit your limit?
I just want to have enough money to make a bet like that FanDuel would tell me no. I mean, if you're Charles Barkley, that's a rich people problem, right? So if you don't have enough money, they wouldn't take it. So that's my deal. Look, I won't ever get turned down by FanDuel. I promise you. I will never get turned down because I will never make that big of a bet. So I don't have that issue, but I'd like to have that issue.
And he lost.
Well, he lost.
He lost that
He
bet.
can afford it.
He can.
But he lost the FanDuel bet, and he probably lost more to his bookie.
His bookie took it.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
It is nuts. That is nuts. Hey, you know what's crazy? It's Friday afternoon, and we're at the Lion and Rose, the Dominion location. I-10 and Dominion, that's where we are. It's really easy to get to. You need to come out here. We've got prizes to give away, but better than that, I tell you what, you get draft beer for $2.50, well drinks for $5. You get wine for $6. Plus, they got food specials as well. A lot of them $5, some of the appetizers. It is just a place to be on this Friday afternoon. Start your Memorial Day weekend with us here on the Blitz at Lion and Rose, the I-10 Dominion location. It is the place to be on this Friday afternoon. When we come back, is Tom Brady unretiring? Wow, the rumor is out there. We'll talk about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Well, if you haven't heard, the college football playoff is changing its seeding. Is now the top 4 teams will get the byes instead of the top-ranked conference champions. Those 5 highest-ranked conference champions, though, still will be guaranteed spots in the 12-team field. Tonight's Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, Pacers. They stole Game 1 in Madison Square Garden in overtime. New York looking to even things up before they head to Indy. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock right here. What a great Friday we are having here at the Lion and Rose. That's where we're broadcasting from. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Jason Minix over here to my left. I'm Joe Reinagel, and boy, we're having a great time here at the Lion and Rose, and you could have a great time too, as we've got a listener here who's got double-fisted mugs of beer.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that looks delicious, Jason.
You know, you realize that was $5.
$5 for those 2 beers.
$2.50 each.
And they look absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. They've got that. They've got $5 wells out here. The happy hour out here is absolutely fantastic. The appetizers, fried pickles, fried jalapenos, fried mushrooms, all $5. You can even get English chips and Guinness cheese for $5.
Nice.
How about that? Not bad. How about a banger meatball for $5? And a cheese croquette. Is it croquette or croquet?
I think.
Anyway, that's $6, so order it and find out.
When was the last time you played croquet?
It's been a long time.
Do they still? Is that something that you still do when you get kids and you put it up in the backyard?
Now, I never did that with my kids, but when I was a kid, my dad would set up the croquet course or whatever it is, and we'd play.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, sure.
You never played croquet?
I mean, it's been a long time since I even thought about croquet.
Dude, it's a lot of fun.
And you can play it?
Well, I don't know if I remember how, but I'm sure I could relearn.
Well, it's not hard. I mean, you just got the hammer-looking thing, and you hammer a ball through a arch deal.
Yep, but I remember you can really put it to your opponent.
You
too, by
could
hitting the ball and
knock theirs out of the way.
Yeah. Dude, a lot of fun. I love that.
Don't think we'll be playing croquet at the barbecue tomorrow, or a lot of people having barbecues this way. Let me ask that: anybody got a croquet set that they're planning to pull out this weekend for their barbecues for Memorial Day weekend?
A croquet set?
Yes.
No.
Isn't that what they're called?
I would say the answer to that's probably no. I'm just saying.
Well, what would you call it?
Croquet?
It's a set, right?
Oh, a set. Yeah. No, I'm saying that I don't think people would. Nobody's got a croquet set anymore.
I mean, you don't know that.
They even make them?
I don't know.
But go on Amazon and find out.
I mean, you can find out. You got a device right in front of you.
All right.
You could do that.
I'm really not that interested.
Yeah, me neither. Are you more interested in croquet or hockey?
Hockey.
Okay, good.
Yeah, hockey, yes.
I got to find where the bar is. How far down is the bar? In all seriousness, we've got a poll question up on our YouTube page. Go to YouTube, San Antonio Sports Star, or on Twitter, a poll there as well. At Jason Minix, at SA Sports Star. Did you retweet it? At Joe Reinagel 210. Are you following the Stars in their playoff run? Simple question, yes or no? Just out of curiosity, how many of you listeners care about the Dallas Stars or hockey playoffs in general? Just curious.
Yeah, take the poll question seriously, because we'd like to know and just see how many are interested in it. And I tell you what, I think I'm going to be interested in that thing.
Well, got a big game tonight.
Yeah.
Art Garcia on our YouTube says, tell me you don't have little kids at home without telling me you don't have little kids at home. Apparently the croquet set must still be an activity.
Oh, so is that what he's saying? Do you have a croquet set? I want to know that.
Yeah,
I'm kind of curious. And the next poll we're going to have is, do you have a croquet set?
Maybe not. That'll be on Monday when nobody's at work. Exactly.
Monday at 3:00.
Let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
So you'd be all in for a Tom Brady comeback, wouldn't you, Minix?
I mean, I'm always in for Tom Brady unretiring rumors out there. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Well, Tom Brady, there is a rumor out there that he wants to come back. But as I explained to Grumpy Greg Shelton over here, it's with a little bit of a twist. He wants to play in the Olympics.
Now, he's not said this. Nobody involved with Tom Brady has said this. But there is a rumor out there that he could or would like to be the quarterback of Team USA in the Olympics. He'll only be 50 when the Olympics roll around.
He's Tom Brady.
He's Tom Brady. And playing flag football, doesn't that seem right up his alley?
I think so.
At 50?
Dude, I think he'd be great. And I think if you're the Olympic Committee, you would jump at that chance to do that. To have Tom Brady as the quarterback of the first Olympic, it doesn't matter. You and I could quarterback that team, or they're going to win gold. I mean, think about it. Who the hell else plays football?
I mean, you're right. It's an automatic. It's 1992 Dream Team Olympics guaranteed gold.
Exactly.
How close are games? Can you imagine? A 5'8" Slovenian corner trying to guard Justin Jefferson, or I don't know. I mean, what are the rules though of flag football? Because if the quarterback's able to take off and run, Tom Brady isn't my guy.
Well, especially at 50.
Yeah, well, at 38, Tom Brady wasn't my guy. If he can take off and run, that's where Lamar Jackson comes into play.
Well, he would just throw the football. You don't need to run.
Well, what are the rules?
Well,
I mean,
same as football.
Well, I mean, if the quarterback's able to take off and run, when you count 3 Mississippi and you're now rushing, Tom Brady's got to be able to get away.
Again, remember, you just said a 5'2" Slovenian guy covering Justin Jefferson. All I'm going to do is throw it up, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be complete. Yeah, and I don't have to wait 3 seconds for that. Tom Brady, I think it's a no-brainer, and I hope that this rumor is true, and that Tom Brady's the quarterback of the Olympic Games. I think it'd be awesome.
I mean, if we're looking for old quarterbacks for this, I mean, what if Joe Montana wanted to come out of retirement to play for the Olympic teams?
Well, he could.
What if Troy Aikman wanted to come out of retirement to play for the Olympic team?
I don't think Troy Aikman would, but I think it'd be great.
I mean, you see Troy, he's in shape.
Well, sure, but again, we're talking about the GOAT. We're talking about Tom Brady.
Sure.
Love Troy Aikman, love Joe Montana, but they're not Tom Brady. So Tom Brady, if he wants to do that, then I'm not sure Montana or Aikman would have any interest in doing that.
Well, I mean, we don't even know if Tom really has interest, but there are rumors out there, and I'm with you. But you think about what if Peyton Manning decided, you know what, I need a gold medal to go along with my Super Bowls and my Emmys.
Why not?
Right?
Well, there you go. Brady starts, Manning backs him up. He gets a gold medal either way. That's perfect. Since those guys were such great competitors their entire career, that would be a lot of fun for them to be teammates finally and win.
How many? As I say this, I realize what I'm saying, but I wonder if there could be multiple Team USAs. Right? You could have the old man team, the retired NFL stars, the current NFL stars, and the college kids, because I am worried about the other countries and the kind of teams they're going to be able to field.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe Canada. I mean, they've got the Canadian League, so maybe they can field something. But
sure.
I don't know.
There's an Italian league that we all learned about when Art Briles took a job coaching over there. Remember? I mean, there is that Italian football league.
I would still put the United States up against anybody.
Is this summer league? I mean, summer Olympics or winter?
Yeah, summer.
Yeah.
So wouldn't all the professionals still be in spring training?
No.
Well, you realize spring training is baseball.
Sorry.
We call it training camp.
Yes.
Which would start late July, early August, and this is mid-July. The events would finish about 2 weeks before most teams, except for the teams that are playing in the Hall of Fame game,
Gotcha.
go. So date-wise, it does work for current players to be able to go play. I just find it interesting. Although I did see somebody was talking about flag football and trying to convince whoever was listening that this could be more competitive on the grand world stage than what most Americans are giving them credit for, because it's more like fielding a soccer team than it is a football team. And I'm still thinking you got to have a quarterback and receivers. And nobody has better quarterbacks and receivers than the United States.
Dude, they're saying that so they can sell it, right? So you know going in, it's not going to be a cakewalk for the United States. It's going to be a cakewalk for the United States.
Easy goal.
So, I mean, it just is. And look, I think Brady would be awesome. I wish he would do that. And maybe Caitlin Clark wants to play.
Huh?
I'd let her play. She's pretty good. Did you see the little scuffle she got into last night with Atlanta's Ryan Howard?
I saw the highlights of the scuffle, and then I read about the fine that came with it.
Dude, I hope they can make it.
I don't know. I mean, I'm worried about Caitlin eating lunch.
Me too. Me too.
Caitlin Clark and Ryan Howard were each fined $30 for their on-court
gossip.
Gossip?
That's what they're calling it.
They were fined $30. $30, not $30,000, not $300, not $3 million, not at $30.
If you didn't see it, it was Clark bringing the ball. She had the ball, and Ryan Howard kind of banged her hard. They kind of pushed each other, and I guess Howard was saying something to Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark turned around and said, "I'm not afraid of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not afraid of you."
$30.
And $30 it cost them both. So
at lunch,
maybe both of them will keep their emotions in check next time, since it cost them $30.
I'm really worried because $30 at the hotels they're staying at, that's breakfast. I
don't. Yeah, maybe for a roll like Shelton got. That's expensive at hotels.
Yeah,
man.
that hotel breakfast is pricey.
$45.50.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're the WNBA, don't release your fine amounts. That
$30.
That just, I mean, granted, I mean, if they 30,000 would be too much. $3,000, when you think about.
Now that would hurt.
Well, I mean, $30. $30.
What the hell's the WNBA going to do with that? We got $60, y'all. Trip to Chick-fil-A.
We're getting close to being able to have a holiday party around the office. Doesn't have to be BYOB. We got an extra $60.
Dude, that is something else. $30. I guess that makes sense with the salaries that they pay. It makes sense to somebody.
I'm not sure if it does. I don't know. I mean, $30 is a beer and a half at most of the games. Well, I mean, I know because I was in Phoenix last week where the Suns and the Mercury play, and beers were $21. So,
cow! I hope they were like 25 ounces.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, and the weird thing they had there, and I haven't checked the credit card yet, but you walk into an area, you scan your credit card as you're going in, then you just go to a cooler, grab what you want, and walk out, and cameras in there know you're attached to that card, and they just charge you.
Well, it's kind of like that little refrigerator in your hotel room. You go to Vegas, you got that refrigerator in your hotel room. You take that, bottle of Grey Goose, and it's
except for there's a whole bunch of people in this deal.
Yeah,
right, and they're going to match my beer and my kid's beer to my credit card as I'm walking out. You don't. It was weird, but
I like that. That's cool though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, because you could have grabbed all kinds of stuff, and it just can't. I don't know. It's 2025, man. Technology. I just hope that the guy behind me, I didn't pick up his.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I trust that a hell of a lot more than getting in that non-driver car.
Oh, the Waymos?
Yes.
The driverless Ubers?
Yes.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, well,
that was. I mean,
I think the beer without paying for it's cool too.
You're paying for it because you've given them your credit card.
That's
before
awesome.
You walk in. But I mean, so she could, but her fine was the price of almost a whole beer.
Yes.
$30.
That's a lot.
That's comical.
Incredible. Sad news.
Yeah.
Billy Joel has canceled all of his concerts because he came out today and said he's got a brain disorder.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know enough about whatever it is he has, and there's one of the words in this 3-letter word that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Sometimes you see some of those words and you're like, oh my God, that's awful. And then you realize what he's going through, and he's had to cancel all his shows. And you hope he can recover from this and maybe tour again, but it almost feels like it's retirement for him.
Yeah, I would think so. It looks like. I just hope he's going to be okay. I mean, anything you're talking about with the brain and a disorder, whatever that happens to be, that's kind of scary stuff. So good luck to Billy Joel, and I hope he gets that taken care of.
And, the reality is he played in San Antonio in October.
Yep.
A whole bunch of people got to go see him. And, one of the reasons why I go on all these concerts and go see the people I want to see is I want to see them while they're still touring and more importantly, alive. I'll never forget, we were going to go see Tom Petty, didn't for some BS reason, and then he died. So I'll never see Tom Petty. So I never wanted that to happen. And, I'm glad that Billy Joel was on tour last year because got to see him.
You went and saw, I didn't see him. So I'm screwed.
You are.
Oh, maybe not.
Well,
you never know. If he recovers, he'll come back. Now I'm a little sad. Thanks, Minix.
Yeah.
Hey,
bringing you down.
Yeah, there's a lot of sad people at the University of Oklahoma today. They're losing their jobs because, the university has to pay players. That story came out today, and it's pretty damn interesting. We'll get into it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, How long has it been since you ditched work for something actually worth it? Emails can wait. Zoom meetings? Forget about them. Skip the 9 to 5 for 9 innings. We're sending you to the ballpark instead. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is giving away pairs of tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the St. Louis Cardinals Friday, May 30th at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Listen to the Blitz all this week. Jason and Joe will drop a ditch phrase during the show every day. When you hear it, be the first caller at 646-ESPN and win the tickets. And maybe don't mention it to your boss. Hey, you're not playing hooky. Bueller. You're honoring America's pastime. Ditch work for the Diamond with South Texas home for the Texas Rangers. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
The Lion and Rose at the Dominion, your daily happy hour spot from 3 till 7 p.m. 250 drafts, wine, wells, and bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Lion and Rose at 23330 West I-10.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small, loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Morning, sir. I stopped you for a seatbelt violation.
But, officer, I was going 2 blocks.
Most crashes happen close to home. Any more excuses?
Okay, I forgot.
Save the excuses and up to $200 in fines. Click it or ticket day and night. A message from TxDOT.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
San Antonio, Austin, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
The NFL is on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Boy, you know it would go great with that song right there. $2.50 draft.
Yes, sir.
It would definitely do that. And you can do that if you come down here to the Lion and Rose right now. $2.50 drafts until 7 o'clock tonight. That's what they're doing out here at the Lion and the Rose, the I-10 location, right off the Dominion exit. This is the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is here as well. And we're having a good time out here. Folks coming through the door to enjoy the great happy hour that's taking place here at the Lion and Rose.
You know, come hang out with us. We're not far from UTSA. UTSA baseball playing right now up 4, I believe. And you look at college athletics, and we often, and we spent a lot of time lately, and every show has, talking about how college athletics is changing in this new world of NIL and revenue share. And the revenue share that is supposed to start July 1, although still no official ruling yet from that judge, although it feels like everybody will start July 1 with revenue share, in part because they've made contracts. They've made deals with these players that they're going to have to pay, whether it's required by the judge or some are going with state laws. And the back end that nobody sees. Because in reality, as much as a lot of people, us included, have bitched about this, on the field, we're watching games and we're having fun and you don't really see anything. That could ultimately change, because if the University of Oklahoma is having to do this, what are other universities doing, especially smaller universities? And I say that pointing right to UTSA. The OU athletic department is laying off 5% of their staff due to looming revenue sharing with athletes. So non-athletes, employees, are going to lose their job because they've got to figure out how to shift money around to be able to pay the athletes.
That's incredible to me, and I can't believe that it's come to that. And I'll be honest with you. Now, those people that are being laid off, man, how much money can that be that they're saving? It can't be that much money.
Every nickel helps.
I guess, but Oklahoma has committed the $20.5 million that they are allowed to commit to, on this new revenue share once it's approved to college athletics. Now, of course, UTSA and schools like UTSA can't commit that kind of money to college athletics, but schools like Oklahoma, Texas, others can. And I just, man, it just seems kind of weird to me that, it equates to 15 people.
It does.
How much can that make a difference?
Well, I mean, if 15 people are making $100,000,
well, they're not.
Well, we don't know that. I mean, $80,000, $90,000. I mean, I mean, but 15 people is probably at least $1 million, if not a little bit more. And this is from the OU Daily, their student newspaper. OU confirmed to the OU Daily late Thursday the athletic department employees learned via a mass email that they're laying off employees due to the looming realities of starting to share revenue with athletes, a limited reduction in force. And again, I mean, they got 300 people in their athletic department and 15 are going to lose their job. So, but for 15, that sucks. And I can't imagine there are 15 of the lowest paid because, again, if you're trying to figure out, while they're looking at spreadsheets and numbers on it, where are they going to be able to come up with another $1 million? That's why I'm wondering if these are, maybe not the director, but the assistant director, which could be a six-figure job. Do we need that person? I say that with a little bit of insight in my daughter's first master's degree, and one of the reasons we supported her getting a second one, her first master's degree is in higher education. To work at a university where you're not a professor. So when she was at Sam Houston State, she was an Orange Key and a part of the orientation team, and that's what she wanted to do with her career. Though that program required a master's degree, so off to Arizona State she went. They had one of the best in the country at that, but that was all in 2020 and 2021. COVID, all those jobs, that field essentially eliminated because of COVID. Universities had the director, but the assistant director and the other employees, they were just getting students to do those jobs. So she was 23 with that master's, but couldn't find a job because most of those jobs were eliminated during COVID. So now she wants to be a therapist, and that's what she just got her degree in. And that's according to the OU Daily. A lot of the jobs that were eliminated will be assumed by students.
Yeah, because you don't have to pay them anything.
Yep,
right?
or much.
So, much. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that a school the size of Oklahoma is having to resort to this. Honestly, I just don't get it. With all the money they've got, talk about the landman money. I mean, that's in Oklahoma too, and it just seems baffling to me that they're going to this extreme to save. All right, $1 million. Well, I'll concede. So they're going to save $1 million in $20.5 million. I mean, seriously? There's not somebody at Oklahoma that went there that can write $1 million check to keep these people employed.
I don't know how this works with the revenue share, but if it's revenue and it's money that the university either has to go generate, not necessarily raise, or rely on donations. So in other words, you can't rely on donation money. You can't rely on landman money when you're talking about revenue. That's ticket sales, that's sponsorship sales, and you take your revenues versus your expenses to come up with your budget. So that's where I'm wondering if donations wouldn't necessarily cover that, because you can't guarantee that. Although I don't know how you guarantee ticket revenue or sponsorship sales. All it takes is one big sponsor to say, you know what, I don't want the back of the program ad anymore, or you try to go sell it to somebody else. I don't know. It just seems kind of odd. But if they're having to do that at OU looking for pennies, what is Lisa Campos doing it over at UTSA?
No, it's got to be tough. And look, while we sit here on the radio and talk about UTSA and how they're going to make that happen and whatever Jeff Traylor needs, he needs to get, they're having to work pretty hard to come up with this money. But back to the writing of checks. Look, if I'm the president of Oklahoma and the head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners football team, I would say, look, just promise old Johnny over there half of what he wants, and I'm going to go to money bags over here, and we'll get the rest. We'll make it happen. Just go back to the old-fashioned way. You got $20.5 million you can spend school-wise. All right, well, Johnny wants a little more than we can pay out of that. Mr. Moneybags, will you write the check? Of course I will, young man.
I mean, and then, as a friend is texting me, not to mention you're saving on the salary, but the benefits and pensions for state employees and how much that is going to factor in too, which that's a pretty good point. I mean, it's big business.
It's ridiculous.
But I am stunned.
Quite frankly.
Like if I were reading this, and we use UTSA as an example because they're here and they're local, or Texas State, a smaller school that is going to be nowhere near the 20.5 cap. I could see if we read about UTSA having to make some cuts to come up with some extra dollars. But at Oklahoma, if Oklahoma is having to do it, is this a bigger burden on these universities than what we realize?
Well, of course, yeah, it is. Yes. The answer to that is yes. It's obvious. And again, I just saw today that the White House says they're going to back off on the whole football committee thing.
They paused it.
Okay. Somebody's got to do something. And I know people think I'm a get off the lawn guy, and maybe I am, but I'm telling you, college football and college athletics, when it comes to this money and the amounts that are being paid to these kids, it's a problem, and it's not going to get any better. And until they get this thing fixed and get some sort of order to all of this, we're going to be in trouble. You got people losing their jobs so you can pay a college football player? Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Again, this year, you look at UT's reportedly has a $40 million roster. Now, once all the legislation is and there's some sort of salary cap, that's going to go away. So it's playing right now, man. Yeah, go make every nickel you can, because that seems like it's going to change and kind of come back to reality. The other part is, take Texas, for example. There's a dude here that's a 30-year season ticket holder. He's got his Longhorn shirt on. Talking about, I don't know if he writes checks or not. I don't know how, but even at University of Texas, you get all these guys that are writing big checks. Take any big school, Texas, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Penn State. Eventually, you get tired of writing checks if you're not celebrating a trophy. And there's still only one national champion every year. At some point, these guys are going to stop writing checks when they don't get names on buildings that go with it.
I tell you, it's ridiculous. Look, these kids coming out of high school are not going to ask for less money. It's going to be more. And when you're talking about figures like $6 million to go play quarterback at Miami or whatever the case may be, I mean, it's getting to the point it's ridiculous. This is not what NIL was meant to be.
No,
it's not. It is not what NIL was meant to be. This is spiraled completely out of control, and the transfer portal is another thing that is just completely out of control, and they've got to do something because it's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get worse, and college football as we know it, I tell you what's going to be in big trouble. I know there are a lot of people out there that said, these guys will never get tired of writing checks. I don't know. I mean, you got a money tree in your backyard? I don't care how much money you have. Throwing $6 million at somebody, or $10 million here, or $100 million there. I mean, eventually, you're tired of losing money.
Yeah.
So the whole thing's ridiculous, and for people to lose their job, so you can pay a college football player who may be there a year, is just totally ridiculous.
Well, and again, right now at OU, 5%, 15%. But for 15 people, that sucks. And, we've gone through the reduction in force rip at the radio station.
Sure.
I mean, and, every TV station is going through it. And that just means other people have to pick up the slack and do the jobs. I mean, at one point, Greg, what did we have? About 130, 140 people working in that building some 12, 13 years ago. I don't know. What's our number now? 70, 50?
I tried counting this up the other day. I don't see more than 30 people.
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't come to work.
Well, no, really, we only have 2 people that don't come into work.
Yeah. I mean, but it's, and you survive, but it sucks for those. And when you're around a building, and I imagine most people listening has been around where there's been layoffs in your building, the survivor's guilt's real. You're happy you made the cut, but at the same time, it sucks. And for OU, and typically if we're talking OU, I'd say it's 337 and OU still sucks, but I can't do that right now because this just sucks because this is Oklahoma. This is a big time program that you wouldn't think would be hurting for $1 to where, maybe their profits aren't what they want it to be, but to have to lay off people just to make it meet, this is wrong.
I think their profits are just fine. But what I do find, look, a company like ours that lays off people because they're doing business is one thing. You lay off people so you can pay a college football player that might be there a year is ridiculous. And it's got to end. It's just getting crazier by the day. It's unbelievable. Disrespect, huh? Disrespect. Those Cowboys are being disrespected.
Oh, stop.
Oh, my gosh. We have to discuss this and solve this problem. We'll do it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, sun-tanned or sunburnt, smell of the coconut oil, and talking basketball. Get here early. The summer is beginning. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
It was a sad day for Hoosiers.
What were they wearing in place of the uniform again?
We've had hostesses that may have been a little larger that couldn't wear the outfit, so they had safari shorts on and khaki shirts.
Oh.
It was a pretty low point in my life.
So it's not just me.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. So, who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Hey San Antonio, this is Kelly Finglass, Senior Director of the world-famous Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Don't miss your chance to see our all-new theater production, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Tour. A night of dazzling performances, electrifying dance routines, a Q&A session, and even a live audition. We're coming to you for one night only, May 25th at the Majestic Theater. Tickets are limited, so go to DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/tour to learn more today.
Have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins yet? Because if you haven't, you're missing out on technology that changes how you think about shoes. First, these are not just regular slip-on shoes. They're not just a pair of loafers without laces. But what makes them different is the technology inside that lets you just step into them. There's a built-in hidden shoehorn that slides your foot in, so they look, feel, and wear just like a pair of shoes you're used to. Except you don't have to bend down, struggle to put them on, or touch them. Try them at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Looking for a place with character, cold drinks, and real Texas charm? Pull up a chair at the Lion and Rose in the Dominion. This local favorite, run by the Tharp family, serves up Southern hospitality, military pride, and seriously good food. Happy hour daily from 3 till 7 p.m. with $2.50 drafts, select wine, wells, and mimosas. Plus, tasty bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Now open at 23330 West I-10. The Lion and Rose.
KFC has $7 chicken and waffles, juicy hand-breaded chicken, rich syrup drizzled waffles. And it's just so awesome that you can go to KFC right now while I'm stuck in this recording booth. So fun that you can literally just go out and get sweet and savory chicken and waffles. And I'm in here telling you about it. Love this for me. Try new KFC chicken and waffles for an envy-inducing $7 or feed the group for $25. Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s. And less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635. And you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Hey, How long has it been since you ditched work for something actually worth it? Emails can wait. Zoom meetings? Forget about them. Skip the 9 to 5 for 9 innings. We're sending you to the ballpark instead. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is giving away pairs of tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the St. Louis Cardinals Friday, May 30th at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Listen to the Blitz all this week. Jason and Joe will drop a ditch phrase during the show every day. When you hear it, be the first caller at 646-ESPN and win the tickets. And maybe don't mention it to your boss. Hey, you're not playing hooky. Bueller. You're honoring America's pastime. Ditch work for the Diamond with South Texas home for the Texas Rangers. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Well, you just heard Big Voice Guy talking about the Cardinals-Rangers game, May 30th. We're going to be giving away a couple of tickets to that coming up in just a moment.
We are.
Because Jason and I will be there. The Blitz will be broadcasting live from Globe Life Field May 30th. That is a Friday, by the way. Now, if you can't go to Dallas on that Friday, don't try to win the tickets. It's only if you can go. We're not going to get you there, and we're not going to put you up. But we're going to give you great tickets, okay? So if you want the tickets and you want a good 3-day weekend, then you can do that. This is the Blitz, by the way, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We are live at the Lion and Rose, the I-10 Dominion location.
Come happy hour with us on Friday, the start of a 3-day weekend. And Rangers Cardinals, if that's not enough for you, it's also Texas Tech night at the ballpark at Arlington. The first pitch is going to be thrown out by the Texas Tech men's basketball coach, Grant McClaskton. And they're doing a deal with Josh Young, obviously. And there's a cool Texas Tech Rangers Josh Young jersey that is available that night.
And what a great night to go.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Josh Young, by the way, from San Antonio.
MacArthur.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
actually, not everybody gets the job. Apparently, you have to buy tickets through a link for community nights to get the jersey. So your free tickets won't get you that, but you'll be there.
Yeah, you'll be there. And Texas Tech night.
Yeah.
That's good. The stadium will be covered in red. I love that.
Well, it's interesting. That particular day, the Rangers are going to be wearing those white jerseys with the black TR logo and then the number in red.
The Cards will have those beautiful red jerseys on, I'm sure. That'll be fantastic. Looking forward to that on May 30th. So we'll be doing that in a few in a little while later in the show, giving you an opportunity to win those tickets if you can go to Dallas. We'll also be giving away the wristbands to ACL. We've got our 5 qualifiers. So later in the show, we'll spin the wheel of death. and we'll give that away to you. But if you come out here, it's just about giving stuff away because how about fried pickles for $5? Fried jalapenos for $5, fried mushrooms for $5, $2.50 for a draft beer. You can't beat it. Come happy hour with us, Lion and Rose. We're right here, I-10 off the Dominion exit. It's a brand new location, really beautiful place. Have you seen the bar?
Mm-hmm.
Bar is fantastic.
It is.
It really is.
The whole
nice.
place is cool spot.
Very cool spot.
Very, very cool spot. Jim Nantz was on Rich Eisen earlier in the week, and he said that Kansas City Buffalo is the best rivalry game in the NFL right now.
Huh.
And I don't know that he's wrong. I mean, there are so many good ones, but when you look at not historical rivalries, but current, Mahomes and Josh Allen is that way, right? And of course, CBS will have that game in a primetime window this year. I think Nance said they've had 8 of the last 9, 7 of the last 8, whatever. But, what's interesting is Buffalo tends to win the regular season matchup, and Kansas City wins in the postseason, which really is all that matters.
Yes.
But it is interesting because the Buffalo Bills are the only team as we sit today that are favored in all 17 games on their 2025 schedule, including their matchup against Kansas City.
Well, the schedule sets up nicely for them because they do have Baltimore, but they get them at home. They have Kansas City. They get them at home. So that's why they're favored over those two teams in particular. Look, Buffalo, they're one of those teams, like it seems like they are every year, Jason. They're one of those teams that everybody's got. It's the chic pick, if you will, to go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. But they always have to go through Kansas City, and it always doesn't work out too well for them. But again, I think they're going to be a good team, favored in all 17. And I didn't take the time. I should. Has that ever happened before that one team is favored to start the season in every single regular season game?
My guess is if it has, it probably would have been in the article that's talking about this one because somebody else would do the research. But at the same time, I find it comical that there were lines immediately as soon as the schedule is released.
Yeah.
Who is putting a bet on a game in May?
You never know.
Well, I mean, again, you have no idea about weather. You have no idea about injuries. But there are lines you could go bet every day. Now, win totals, that's one thing. Like if I was heading out to Vegas this weekend for Memorial Day, which sadly I'm not, I would look at win totals and make some money or place some money, hoping to make money. And I think one that I would look at is the Dallas Cowboys, because right now a lot of books have the Cowboys at 7.5. And quite frankly, I don't understand that line for the win total when I know you factor in last year and you project the upcoming season. The Cowboys offense has gotten a lot better. The Cowboys won 7 games last year, and Cooper Rush was quarterback, right, for the majority of them. They had no run game. There are a lot of things with the Cowboys last year. Now, I don't think they win the NFC East. Hell, they right now, if you were to rank them, they should be third behind Washington and Philadelphia. But 7.5 wins just seems odd.
It seems very low, but I just think there's a lot of unknown for the Cowboys, and I think that's what Vegas is looking at this thing through that skull, especially Schottenheimer, a head coach who's never been a head coach before, and I think that's part of it. And then you've got some guys that, well, maybe they'll work out, maybe they won't. The Cowboys went out and were aggressive in the offseason, and you got to give them a lot of credit for that. But some of the guys that they brought in were high draft picks for somebody else and didn't make it. And so the Cowboys obviously hoping, betting, gambling for this year at least, that those guys will regain whatever they had in college to get them drafted as high as they were.
Now, from an offensive standpoint, you expect the Cowboys to score a lot of points this year. And when you look at Dak Prescott, and I know the narrative on Dak is what it is, but Dak Prescott, when playing at least 12 games in a season, has never had a losing record. They've had a winning record and missed the playoffs. That happened twice under Jason Garrett as the head coach. But Dak Prescott, when healthy and playing at least 12 games, has never even had a losing season. And everybody said, you got to get that guy weapons. Well, Jerry Jones has done that. They've improved the run game, and they went and they made a trade for Pickens. I just find it baffling that they would still be at 7.5 wins in Vegas. It seems like easy money, which kind of feels like a sucker's bet. What does Vegas know that we don't?
They always know something, don't they? It seems like, anyway. But look, we're going to be there in August. And, we'll see what the line is at that point in time. And maybe you can, put your money where your mouth is.
I will make that bet at Circa Las Vegas when we were there in August.
Okay, well.
I know we're not talking about that.
Oh, we're not supposed to talk about that?
Coming soon.
Coming soon. All
to
right.
Circa Las Vegas. Details.
Yes.
Coming soon.
And you, too, can put your money where your mouth is when it comes to the Cowboys and do the same thing. I don't know that it's disrespect necessarily. I just think there's a lot of questions. I want to see what Tyler Guyton's going to be this year. You would assume he's going to get better. You hope. Terrence Steele, is he going to be better? Is Booker going to be the guy that everybody thinks he's going to be this year? Is it going to take him a while? I think there are some questions when it comes. Those are my main ones on the offense. And then defensively, what's going to happen there? The secondary is still a little bit banged up, depending on what happens. And then are you going to have Micah Parsons? And will he have a training camp, or is Jerry going to mess around and not do that and cause some drama there? So there are some questions to be answered.
Now, I will say, was last year a blip or the beginning of a trend for the Dallas Cowboys? Because they went 12-5 3 straight years. And then last year, it was weird from the moment they lost to the Green Bay Packers through the offseason, through training camp, through a dreadful 7-10 regular season. A lot of injuries and a lot of weirdness. But do we forget about those 3 straight 12-5 years and what were the Cowboys going to do? Because, let's not forget. I mean, Jerry Jones had put together what a lot of people, not just locally, but nationally, a Super Bowl caliber roster. And they fell flat in the playoffs 2 years in a row. They just got embarrassed with home playoff games. And then last year was a disaster. So can they get back to what they were doing with 12 wins? Now, I don't know that they're a 12-win season. I wouldn't say that, but to think that they couldn't get 10 wins when you look at their schedule, I just look at that and I'm going, what am I missing here? I know I'm a Cowboy fan, but I'm not trying to look through, those blue and silver glasses. Honestly, I'm stunned to see 7.5, knowing that last year was a disaster. Felt like it was going to be a disaster when we were in Oxnard at training camp, and it was. But they did have 3 straight years of 12-5 seasons.
Well, my deal, 7.5 surprises me too. I'll be totally honest with you. That is a shock. I mean, if it was 8.5, maybe even 9, okay, I get that. Then maybe you've got a legitimate question on your hands. But 7.5 seems really low. But I'm with you, and I've seen it enough, and I know you have as well. Anytime something seems easy, it doesn't turn out to be that way. So we'll see. A lot of question marks, but I agree. By the way, you've been challenged on our YouTube page.
Where's
by
that?
the way?
Let's see.
Glenn Fluitt. I hope I'm saying that right. Glenn. He's challenging you.
He says he will take the Giants to finish in front of Dak for a 12-pack. Are you in?
Wow.
Good Lord, I don't want your beer, Glenn. Not that I'm afraid. I just never make a bet with a listener.
I agree.
If I see you in a bar and we do it face-to-face, sure. But over YouTube, probably. But again, that to me, easy. And again, you see how he does it. It's, I'll take the Giants to finish in front of Dak. Not the Cowboys.
Right.
But Dak.
Well, how do you finish in front of Dak if you don't finish in front of the Cowboys?
Well, again, because it's Dak. It's not the Cowboys.
All right. I don't understand.
The what was that pledge?
Here we go.
Oh.
Now, there's an interesting question, and I can't wait to see the answer to it because I didn't see it in OTAs, and maybe we will, but I know we'll see it at training camp. With Shoddy coming in, calling the play, will we still have the Here You Go?
Yeah.
You think so?
Absolutely. It's turned into a song.
I don't know.
I mean, we'll see if that continues.
I don't know.
I would imagine.
I just thought about that when Pledge played that.
We'll ask John Machoda later if he was here, and Here We Go.
All right.
This week at practice.
That's a good idea. He will join us coming up at 5:15 today. John Machoda from The Athletic. Hey, when we come back, and by the way, we're at the Line in the Rose, the I-10 Dominion location. Jason and I saw something today before the show that I thought was fantastic. the inaugural of something. Yes, the first one of something. And I thought it was fantastic. We'll tell you what that is when we come back. Or you can come in here and ask us yourself if you want to and get a $2.50 draft beer. You can do that. We'll continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Now, if you take what Joe's talking about and do that out in public, you're probably going to get yourself arrested. And if you get yourself arrested, because people do for all kinds of reasons every day, including that, best way to get out of jail fast is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee through May 30th. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
The Lion and Rose at the Dominion, your daily happy hour spot from 3 till 7 p.m. 250 drafts, wine, wells, and bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Lion and Rose at 23330 West I-10.
How is it you not buckle? Tammy, we're not going far. Mm-hmm. But I know these roads well. Mm-hmm. This big old truck will protect me and you. Ugh. Am I going to get a ticket? Mm-hmm.
Save the excuses. Click it or ticket, day and night. A message from Texas.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team: Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hey, San Antonio, this is Kelly Finglass, Senior Director of the world-famous Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Don't miss your chance to see our all-new theater production, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Tour. A night of dazzling performances, electrifying dance routines, a Q&A session, and even a live audition. We're coming to you for one night only, May 25th at the Majestic Theater. Tickets are limited, so go to DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/tour to learn more today.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Minnesota Timberwolves do not look ready for prime time. They are down 2-0 to the Oklahoma City Thunder after last night's loss. Game 3 set for tomorrow from Minnesota, a game you can catch right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Tonight, though, it's Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Pacers stole Game 1 in Madison Square Garden. New York looking to even things up before they head back to Indiana. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock. We get you started at 6:30 right here.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
At the Blitz, it is Friday, and that is a good thing. Always a good time when it's Friday here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And to add a cherry on top to that, we're here at the Lion and Rose, the I-10 Dominion location. That's where we're at. Brand new place, brand new building. It is fantastic. And boy, I tell you what, the happy hour here is off the chart. $2.50 draft beer. That's incredible. Well drinks for $5. You get imports for $5, some wine for $6. They even got mimosas for $4. Plus, Jason, they've got some good eats as well. Fried pickles, fried jalapenos, fried mushrooms, English cheese or English chips, and Guinness cheese, all for $5.
What is English cheese?
Well, I don't know what it's Guinness cheese and English chips. Maybe this young lady can tell us. What is an English chip?
Steak
fries.
Steak fry.
Wow. Well, that's pretty cool. Steak fries and Guinness cheese.
Yes. Well, there's bacon in there.
Wow.
Bacon. You had me at bacon. That's all I need.
Minix's ears just perked up big time. Curry sauce. Wow. All right, there you go. You can get all that out here for $5. They're steak fries. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I love that. That is fantastic. Yeah, that would have been nice to know when we're watching the Wienermobile race.
Well, I mean, we did watch the Weenie 500 earlier today. The the fact that they have 6 Wienermobiles, Oscar Mayer does, but
lucky him. He's got 6 wieners. That guy.
Yeah, but, this is the first time they've all been in the same place at the same time. Normally, they keep their wieners in different parts of the country.
Well, I mean, you got to branch out. You know what I mean?
The Wienermobile, but they brought them all together to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the inaugural Weenie 500 race. And it was a photo finish, if you will. Slaw Dog comes from behind to take over Chili Dog.
I hope they don't post any of those photos.
We watched it live.
We did.
Yeah.
I thought it was great, although it looked like these Wienermobiles were going about 20 miles an hour.
They said 60, which I doubt.
I have a hard time with that, too. They'd have to verify that. But the Chili Dog had the lead, lost the lead, and then whoever took him, the engine blew. So I guess he was trying to push that wiener a little too hard.
I mean, you can't overcook
I love
your
wieners. Well, I mean, you can't over push them either. And that's what happened. You saw the smoke go, and it was done.
Yeah, it was the Sonoran dog that lost all its steam.
What's a Sonoran dog?
Beats the hell out of me.
I don't know what that is.
You've got Google.
So Chili Dog had the lead. They're coming around the final turn, and it got passed. And didn't even try to get in the way of said wiener.
Now, I don't know what the rules are. Now, granted, I don't know what body shop you take those to if there's damage, but there was no rubbing during this Weenie 500.
A urologist.
Well, and again, you're...
Well, I have a pretty good rub.
I mean, I at some point you've got those big mirrors that are still on there. You know, the driver of the chili dog should have seen that the slaw dog was coming from behind and move over a little bit, at least, you know, kind of, you know, make them slow down a little bit, because there was, I mean, there was no acceleration at the end for the chili dog.
None whatsoever.
I mean, there was, you know, not a fast finish at all.
Well, the chili dog petered out. Obviously,
he definitely did. I mean, there was no last minute thrust from the chili dog, but there was from the slaw dog.
He was,
he was. You could tell he was trying to finish strong,
and he did. And so what's bad about that, in case you wonder why we're a little upset, but the chili dog represented us.
Well, and that's where we put our money.
Here in Texas, yes. So very upset by that. According to Sam on our YouTube page, the Sonoran hot dog is a style of hot dog that originated in Hermosillo, the capital of the Mexican state of Sonora, in the late 1980s. Now, I don't know if that's factual or not. I'm going to take his word for it.
Sounds good.
All right.
All I know is the chili dog had about a 3-bun lead and blew it.
Yeah. It was really hard to watch the chili dog just lose that.
Just right at the end.
Right at the
end. No extra gas, nothing.
I don't blame him for moving over and trying to block the guy, though. I mean,
there's a term for that. You had the opportunity. You're in the lead. You could see, you know, Slaw Dog is trying to make its move. You know, veer to your left a little bit, do a little CBing, and you still win the race.
So just kind of knock him off.
Look, each driver, the winning driver won $1,000.
Really?
Yes. If I'm driving the chili dog, I'm doing what I can. And those dudes make $35,000 a year. Extra $1,000. That's big.
Yeah. Night out in Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
That could be fun, I guess.
Dude, they could have gone to St. Elmo's. A great steakhouse there.
Dude, I love the fact that you know every restaurant. I can name any state, any city, and Minnick's going to tell me where to go eat.
I mean, you're not wrong.
No, dude,
You're well, I mean, I'll give you some but yeah, dude, St. Elmo's is famous.
It's a steakhouse.
Yes.
Hard to get into?
It is.
Oh, it is.
Well, I mean, you know, a lot of places. I mean,
especially now. I would imagine Indianapolis is packed.
With I don't know. There's some basketball games coming there this weekend, and in a big race. I'd imagine most restaurants are hard to get into.
So it's right. So it'll be Sunday. So they're going to have not only Game 3 on Sunday, they'll have the Indianapolis 500 on Sunday. That place is going to be rocking.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Unbelievable. Which leads me to ask you, and we'll talk about it coming up in the next segment for sure, but Indianapolis, could they make it 2-0 on the road? That's going to be interesting.
You know, the Knicks have been road warriors this postseason. But to answer your question, could they? Yes. Do I expect them to? No. But then again, I expected the Knicks to win Game 1.
I did too, and put my money where my mouth was, and it wasn't there. Well, we'll talk about the NBA playoffs. They're heating up, and I tell you what, it looks like right now everybody's playing for second. So the way Oklahoma City's playing, I know that series is not over, but my goodness, Minnesota looks completely outmatched in that thing. So let's talk about that. You want to?
Yep.
All right, the NBA playoffs, Indianapolis, New York. They play tonight at Madison Square Garden. Those Knicks fans are going to be fired up again. There's no doubt. We'll talk about that when we continue. Here from the Lion and the Rose, the I-10 Dominion location where they've got all kinds of happy hour specials and some food specials as well. Come on out and see us. You can register for prizes. Nick Trey is here registering folks. We're going to give that prizes away. We still have to give the ACL tickets or wristbands away. We'll do that coming up later. And we've got tickets to give away to the Rangers-Cardinals game next Friday, 1 week from today, in Arlington. That's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be broadcasting the Blitz live from Globe Life Field. I cannot wait for that, but I can't wait to see you walk through the door. The beauty of where Jason and I are right now, we can see you immediately when you walk through the door. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, Minix?
It depends on who's walking through the door.
Well, that's true. There's been some shiny objects walk through here. Not bad. Not bad. And then some not so shiny objects walk through.
Don't talk about Nick Trey that way.
Well, he knows. And I got Nick in front of me. I got Shelton on the other side. It's like, damn, the scenery in here is not so great today, but I'll survive. And then you on my left. Jeez.
What do you want, a mirror?
I'm in trouble.
Do you just want to put a mirror in front of you?
I'm the
You should
shiniest.
see it from our side.
I'm the shiniest thing in this room. Are you kidding me? Absolutely.
Look to your right, sir.
NBA basketball. The playoffs continue. We're talking about it when the Blitz continues here from the Lion and Rose, the I-10 Dominion location on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, how long has it been since you ditched work for something actually worth it? Emails can wait. Zoom meetings? Forget about them. Skip the 9 to 5 for 9 innings. We're sending you to the ballpark instead. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is giving away pairs of tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the St. Louis Cardinals Friday, May 30th at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Listen to the Blitz all this week. Jason and Joe will drop a ditch phrase during the show every day. When you hear it, be the first caller at 646-ESPN and win the tickets. And maybe don't mention it to your boss. Hey, you're not playing hooky.
Bueller.
You're honoring America's pastime. Ditch work for the Diamond with South Texas home for the Texas Rangers. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Were you uninvited to game night? Do you play board games with the ferocious intensity of an iron-fisted oligarch? Have friends left game night asking, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. There's still time. Come to Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale. Get here soon and save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic and get a $300 instant gift. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot, 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 and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Not only is it the Blitz with Jason and Joe, we are live at the Lion and Rose, I-10, Dominion exit, and we're having a great time. They are serving us right, too. Happy hour specials all over the place, $2.50 domestic drafts. And then you can get imports for $5, well drinks for $5, wine for $6, mimosa for $4, and they've got several items on their appetizer list for $5 as well. Get on out here and party with us. Start your Memorial Day weekend with us here on the Blitz. Prizes to give away. We got Nick Trey out here registering folks for all kinds of different stuff, and we're having a great time.
Now, different stuff would be tickets to go see the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders event on Sunday at the Majestic, and we also have tickets for the Four Horsemen, which is Sunday night at the Aztec Theater. The Four Horsemen, a Metallica tribute band. Now, nobody's working on Monday.
No.
So Sunday night is one of those extra nights. Although when you are enjoying a long holiday weekend, remember the sacrifices those made, why we actually have this particular holiday. Well, you know, just keep that in mind this weekend for sure.
Well said, my friend. Yeah, we can't forget that. A lot of sacrifice, and we remember those folks who keep us safe and let a couple of goofballs like you and me talk on the radio every day about whatever we want to do.
Well, and Memorial Day, those that made the ultimate sacrifice in keeping us safe.
Yes.
I saw Texas Tech just won, so they're off to the College World Series in softball for the first time in program history.
Wow.
In UTSA baseball, they're in the elimination bracket all of a sudden, but they won today 6-3. So they're still alive. They got a heartbeat.
Still alive. It was Tulane that beat them yesterday, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was Tulane. So that put them in the other bracket.
The elimination bracket.
Yeah.
You don't want to call it loser bracket.
I didn't say
we
loser.
got to be politically correct. No, I did.
Loser.
I did. You said the
bracket.
other bracket.
Did they lose?
Yeah.
Then they're the loser bracket.
Well, it's the elimination bracket.
They're the losers
it's
bracket.
A double elimination tournament.
We're not politically correct here on the Blitz.
No, we're not.
We're not.
You
lose, you in the losers bracket. That's the way it goes. Or do they get a ribbon?
Well, they don't get a ribbon, but you could say it's they're now in the must-win bracket.
Yes.
Yes.
And they did win today.
So
they're winners again.
But they're still in the must-win bracket because it's double elimination. Now, in a best of 4, Game 2 isn't a must-win. And I know you won't call this a must-win for the New York Knickerbockers, but It almost feels like a must-win game for the New York Knicks tonight.
Well, they'd like to win it for sure before they go back to Indianapolis. Yeah, but it's not a must-win in the technical sense of must-win games. My question for the New York Knicks, and by the way, they're a 5.5-point favorite tonight. Vegas certainly expects them to bounce back and win this game. I'm just not sure that they have enough to do that. And while saying that, you have to remember that they did build a 16-point lead. You got to remember that. And then you got to remember the fact is are the Pacers going to be satisfied with stealing home court advantage from the Knicks? They know they're going back to Indianapolis for the next 2 games. And so will they be satisfied with a 1-1 series, or do they want to put their foot on their neck and really make it difficult for the Knicks?
You know, I would hope that they have the killer instinct, foot on the neck, and not be satisfied. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals a year ago and lost. So there's a lot of motivation there. And I was reading an article out of the Indy Star, and this article read, and it didn't say anything about the Spurs. It was my conclusion after reading the article. It so felt like a story that could have been written by Mike Finger in the Express News back in 2014. The mission that the Pacers are on, and the hurt of how they lost last year, feeling this, and Tyrese Halliburton, getting voted the most overrated player by his peers, how that could be fueling what he's got going on right now in his level of play. And you're right. The Knicks had a big lead. They had a big lead late in the game, and they pissed it away. But what has Indiana done throughout this postseason? They've gotten down and managed to come back. This is a team, if they're down 20, they don't give a damn. If there's time on the clock, they seem to make more clutch plays than anybody not named Oklahoma City.
Well, Aaron Nesmith was unbelievable. I don't know how else you describe what he did in the fourth quarter with all the 3-pointers that he hit. I don't think New York could believe it either. Surely they're going to guard him for a change, because it seemed like every 3-pointer he took, he was wide open and he knocked it down. So that adjustment has to be there. Tyrese Halliburton has been sensational. He hit the game-tying bucket that sent that game into overtime. And then New York simply had nothing else. The problem with the Knicks and what they've got to face, and not only tonight but the rest of this series, is do they have enough to keep up with the Pacers, or will they try and do something tonight to slow this game down? The Pacers want to run. New York doesn't, because they don't have the depth like Indiana does, and that's a problem. And it was a problem in game 1. Not Halliburton, but Jalen Brunson had his tongue hanging out.
Well, yeah, that dude was gassed at the end, but I don't know that New York does anything different, because they played with a very short bench all season, and certainly in the postseason. And you kind of feel bad for, I don't know, guy 8 and 9. They must think they suck, that, they can't even get out there and give a good 5, 8, 10 minutes throughout the course of a 48-minute game to help the team. And if the coach isn't playing you, how do you not take it any other way? Like, I'm not good enough. Paychecks are nice, but how can you help the team? And now, granted, you look at New York's playoff run, it is kind of strange when you look at how they played at the Garden versus how they played at the Road, with guys getting about the same number of minutes. I mean, it's not like Jalen Brunson was playing 5, 8 minutes over his average, but the physical nature. And there was an article on ESPN. I kind of chuckled when I saw the headline, because it said, "Is the NBA too physical?"
Oh, my gosh.
Go to ESPN. Go find that. Scroll down a little bit. I see you on there. Go to the NBA page. You'll see it.
Right.
And I'm looking at this, and there's data that talks about it, and I'm thinking, that too physical? Are you kidding me? What a comical headline. But if you're not used to physical play, and the games have been a little more physical now for old hats and whatnot, no, because it ain't the 80s and 90s physical. But if you're used to very finesse, and now the refs are letting them play a little bit more, does that wear you out a little bit sooner?
Well, of course it does, but it's so ridiculous. Is it too physical? That's unbelievable to me. And yes, Indiana is a physical ball club, and so this plays right into their hands. New York, not so much. I didn't understand Tom Thibodeau, though, some of the moves he makes. He takes out Brunson for defensive purposes. He takes out Cat for rebounding purposes and puts is it Roberts or Robertson? I think it's Roberts, but he's a big dude, right? And he was just all over the glass the other night. But I don't get it. And look, your guys are going to have to go. And Jalen Brunson has to know, not only is he going to have to score, he's got to play defense. And that's what the Pacers make him do, and it wears him out.
Well, and I mean, as dumb as it sounds or as simple as it sounds, they have to make shots in the fourth quarter.
Well,
they have to make shots in the fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson, you're the man for the New York Knicks. You can't have a pedestrian fourth quarter because that's where it matters. And you're talking about a guy that is going to get max dollars from the New York Knicks to be that guy. I know you've been solid in the first three quarters, but Jalen Brunson has to show up and play big-time basketball in the fourth quarter. You know, like I said the other night during game one, at no point during that fourth quarter did I actually think the Knicks were going to lose that game. Even though Indiana was chipping away, got to stop, make a basket, got to stop, make a free throw. I never thought that they were going to lose that game, even when Halliburton hit that shot at the buzzer that he thought was a three, that was a two, that sent it to overtime. Even that shot, you wondered if it was going to go in, but where was the defense on that? Now, once it went to overtime, I never thought the Pacers were going to lose. At that point, it was over. But up until that final shot from Halliburton, I never really thought that Indiana was going to win that game. In that final minute, I was just worried about the line, because it was 4.5. Can the Knicks get a stop here, get a shot, and cover? Damn it. I mean, and they blew that game.
They never could. And you're right. They only needed one. I mean, one clutch basket, and they couldn't get it done. And, I was pulling for the Knicks to cover that spread. That didn't work out for me, and I'm glad that Indiana won instead. But, look, New York's going to get all the calls tonight. That's going to happen. And I'm not saying that there's a conspiracy theory or a script or anything else.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers.
It's just the way that it is. It's just the way that it is. They're going to get the calls tonight, and I think they win this game. The question is, will they win by more than 5.5? And I'm not sure. It's really one of those things. I just think Indiana's the better team.
I 5.5. I think this comes down to another final bucket. I think tonight's game is going to be nip and tuck all the way. And again, if Indiana's down 20 in the second half, don't turn the TV off. Now, granted, I'll be watching hockey tonight on the main TV, but when you look at it and you think about it, the idea that this game could come down to the wire, could be a 1 or 2 possession game, which that 5.5 line, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 3 or 4 point game or a buzzer beater type of game. But if Indiana's down big, I'm not going to think, all right, this one's over, because Indiana has proven this postseason they're never out of it. And while they might be getting blown out, they don't get blown out when you look at the final score.
Well, it's incredible. The comebacks that they have made, they never quit. You're absolutely right. They never quit. So, look, I got to believe that if New York is up again double digits, they're going to figure out a way to get this thing done, because they can't lose this game tonight and put themselves behind the 8 ball. That is definitely for sure. I got a question for you, Minix.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. And it's a legit question, and I just saw this. Who right now on this team right now for the Dallas Cowboys is the most beloved Cowboy? Who is it? I'm going to ask you that question. You think about it. I'm asking all of you out there as well. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. If you're on our YouTube page, you can comment there as well. Who is the most beloved Cowboy on this team? Not all time, but on this team right now. And if you want to come tell us in person, you're more than welcome to do that. We're at the Lion and Rose. We're at the Lion and Rose, I-10 Dominion location. Brand new location. It's a beautiful place. And I tell you what, they're making it real easy for you to come out here. Happy hour specials on food and drink when you come out here to the Lion and Rose. Come on out and see us. We're out here till 6 o'clock tonight. We want to see you walk through that door right now, as a couple of folks just did. This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Antonio Sports Star.
And you think about the games tonight, and tonight's one of those kind of nights where you need multiple television. So if you're going to a place for that, the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road is my go-to spot with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And when you go into the Roo Pub, go hungry. The food is fantastic. They got the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu. I love the fried shrimp over there. Great appetizers, great salads. For Joe, they have great hot dogs, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, sun-tanned or sunburnt, smell of the coconut oil, and talking basketball. Get here early. The summer is beginning. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Guys, starting TRT has never been easier. Other places charge hundreds of dollars just for the test. But visit any Synergenics or Low T Center and get the consultation and test totally free. Treatment is personalized to you, and most major insurance is accepted. With the freedom to choose if you want in-center care or at-home treatment, you're in control of your health. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Thank you for making Total Wine & More America's #1 online source for spirits, beer, and wine. Better than all those delivery apps. Total Wine's prices are up to 30% lower with super fast delivery and no hidden fees. Order direct at TotalWine.com and pay less today.
Drink responsibly, B21.
And Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Hey, bada, swing, bada.
How long has it been since you ditched work for something actually worth it? Emails can wait. Zoom meetings? Forget about them. Skip the 9 to 5 for 9 innings. We're sending you to the ballpark instead. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is giving away pairs of tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the St. Louis Cardinals Friday, May 30th at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Listen to the Blitz all this week. Jason and Joe will drop a ditch phrase during the show every day. When you hear it, be the first caller at 646-ESPN and win the tickets. And maybe don't mention it to your boss. Hey, you're not playing hooky. Bueller. You're honoring America's pastime. Ditch work for the Diamond with South Texas home for the Texas Rangers. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Wow, I got a place where you can come have a mini vacation, the Lion and Rose. I-10, Dominion exit. Come on in here. They've got happy hour specials, food specials. And we're here, Jason and Joe, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, the Blitz. We're here till 6 o'clock tonight. Having a great time.
And you got tonight, you got a couple of big games. You've got a game in the NBA, and more importantly, at least for me, a game in the NHL. Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals in the Stanley Cup. Dallas Stars playing host to the Edmonton Oilers. I'm curious, though, and Joe and I were talking about this before the game. So we put a poll question up on our YouTube page. Go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, or on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Minix, at SA Sports Star. There is a poll there. Just a simple question. Are you following the Dallas Stars playoff run? Not asking if you're a big hockey fan, but you got a Texas team. Their hashtag is Texas Hockey. Are you into, or at least paying attention to, or watching? Are you following the Dallas Stars playoff run? Simple yes or no question. Right now on YouTube, the poll is 57% no, 43% yes.
To me, that's more than I expected. I'll be honest with you. Look, and not because the Stars aren't important. I know a lot of people like hockey around here, and I get that. And I've got to check it out. Everybody is telling me I need to, and I will. I'm going to check out a little bit of the Stars game tonight. Hopefully, it's a good one. And if they lose, you're not going to blame me for being a jinx, are you?
No, I mean, look, the Dallas Stars have been in the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row, or this is 3 years in a row. In the last 2 years, they haven't made it to the Stanley Cup. But, I mean, do we need to start planning if the Stars don't want to jinx anything, but if they make the Stanley Cup, if we do a watch party, or are you interested? I mean, not that we're doing this, oh my God, do we need to talk hockey? I don't know. No, that's not what we're doing. But I'm just curious because I'm a big hockey guy and I know I'm in the minority, but how many hockey fans are out there, or Dallas Stars fans, even if it's bandwagoning because it's the playoffs and Spurs are out, what else are you doing? Are you watching hockey? Are you at least following along with what's going on in the Stanley Cup playoffs?
Well, it appears that more people than I thought are. So that's good. And I think the fact that the Dallas Stars are involved, it kind of gets people interested. So, if you haven't filled out that or answered that poll question, go ahead and do that. We'd appreciate it. We'd also appreciate your opinion on the most beloved Dallas Cowboy on this team, not of all time, but on this current team right now. Who is that person?
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776.
Is it Deuce Vaughn?
I mean, it sure as hell ain't Rowdy.
Gadget Juice.
I mean, honestly, that is such a great question, because is there that guy on this team? You look at what a loaded question. We do need to hear. This is where you pick up the phone and call in. because I am curious. I know it. I know it ain't Dak Prescott.
Here we go.
It ain't Micah Parsons. I mean, because people are divided on Micah Parsons. He might be the best player.
Football team.
But at the same time, a lot of people bitch about his podcast and all this. So I don't know that he would put most beloved.
Well, we got guys answering this question. A lot of Sam likes Tyler Booker. He hadn't played it down yet, but he's the most beloved Cowboy.
Fun guy. And did you hear him mic'd up? Speaking of the Dallas Stars, they gave him seats right on the glass, and that dude was having a great time at his first hockey game.
Well, that's really cool, and that endears him to Dallas fans immediately. Now, Anthony Guerra says he likes Micah Parsons. Tyler Brooks has been mentioned. Tyler, yep. So that's 2 for him.
Who the hell is Tyler Brooks?
Well, it's not Tyler Brooks.
They got a Tyler Smith.
Yeah.
We've got
Booker.
We've got a Booker.
Booker.
We've got. There's a lot of Tylers on there, but I didn't know that one.
It's a Tyler Booker.
He's so beloved, we don't even know his name.
Exactly right.
Good Lord.
He's brand new. He can't be beloved. Now, Brandon Aubrey's getting a lot of votes.
I could see that.
Including from Pledge.
How pathetic is that if your kicker is your most beloved? All right. I mean, CeeDee Lamb.
Okay. There's no votes for him just yet, but I have one. Pledge. That's got to be. It's got to be Ferguson.
For you, Ryan Eagle, is there a difference between most beloved and most fantasized about?
Stop it. Dude, I saw the guy. I made him everything he is today.
You made him?
Yes. If it wasn't for me, they wouldn't have known.
I was there. We were on the football fields in Oxnard, California.
Such BS.
We were standing there. We were at the end of one field, kind of near the goalpost, and the players were walking out. And Ferguson, a rookie, walks right by us, and Joe's like, "Who is that?" And then got his flip card out, looked and says, "Yep, that dude, he's a player."
He's a player.
You didn't even know what he was.
You see that? I knew he was a player. I discovered the guy.
You discovered the guy. He was already at training camp in a uniform, but you discovered him.
Well, he wouldn't have made that. I think Mike McCarthy was in earshot, and it made him, but we got to take a look at this guy.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
absolutely.
He was in uniform. But you didn't know what position he played. You didn't know anything. I mean, he could have been the long snapper. Yeah, it is such an interesting question about beloved Cowboy, because I think there's division on so many. A lot of teams, it's going to be your quarterback. And you go to a game, there's a bleep ton of number 4 jerseys out there. People do love Dak Prescott, but a lot of people hate him. All right, he's very divided, almost like Tony Romo. The last time the Cowboys had a universally beloved quarterback was probably Troy Aikman, although it's weird. Romo doesn't play anymore, and more people seem to be Romo fans.
Isn't that the truth?
That's kind of how it works. I mean, Danny White still doesn't get any credit, right? Micah Parsons divided. CeeDee Lamb, I don't know that anybody's saying that's my favorite player.
No.
Zeke Elliott was probably that guy for a long time, but on this current team, I think there are a lot of fans, at least locally. I would love to say DeMarvion Overshown, because I think he can be that guy, but he's a Longhorn, but he's got to get unhurt.
Yeah.
And until he's unhurt, he can't get on that list. Deron Bland, I don't know anybody that hates him, but I don't know, I
be considered beloved.
I don't know I've ever seen anybody wearing his jersey at the game.
Biggie Zua is a guy that is a nice guy.
Yeah.
Good personality. I like that guy for sure.
Sweaty.
But
what did you say,
Pledge?
Sweaty.
That wasn't sweat, sir. that was not sweat.
That was tinkle.
that was not sweat.
Yeah.
That is a bizarre. That is a really bizarre question that I don't know that there is a real answer for.
I don't think there is a real answer. Now, if you had to, pick one, because you're the biggest Dallas Cowboy fan in this room that I know of right now, who would it be, Minix? You have to pick one.
If I had to pick one
right now,
CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
I CeeDee Lamb's in the 88 club. He went to the wrong college, and I'll let that slide because he's been a Cowboy long enough. But in reality, if I were to say, you put me on a spot, who is universally the most beloved Cowboy, I would go CD, because Micah and Dak have too much of a split fan base. The offensive line guys, defensive.
Now, Zach Martin, if he was still there, could be one of those guys,
Again,
right?
He's off the list, though.
Right,
He's a current Cowboy.
He is.
That's where Brandon Aubrey, nice guy, great story. It's
an interesting question, and I don't know that there's an answer to it. And I think it's all over the place. Certainly, there's not one guy that is that guy on right now. He's just not there. But I'll be honest with you, Jason. CeeDee Lamb went up in my book because I like guys that don't complain if they're banged up a little bit, and they keep playing at a high level. And CeeDee Lamb did exactly that last year.
Oh, man. The longest, I want to say a good 5 months of real recovery and rehab. I don't know. I'm grateful to have two arms. I can tell you that. So.
That, to me, he earned a lot of respect from me because, look, we heard, okay, well, CD hurt his shoulder. But who knew that he was having to deal with a lot of pain throughout the season, or a good portion of it? And then he was re-injured in the final game of the season last year. To me, that's a big deal on my list. So for CeeDee Lamb, he rose in my book.
Well, and again, for him to say he's thankful to have two arms again. And, you think about when you've got one arm where you can't really use it, all the things that you do, and you think about, man, where's my other arm? From tying your shoes to zipping up your pants to, just sleeping.
Yeah, no
sleeping
doubt.
Comfortably, to know that he was playing through that kind of pain. Now, granted, you make a whole lot of money, but not every athlete is quite as dedicated as that. And, that's one of the many reasons why, when I look at knowing that he played hurt last year, and, the Cowboys will try to tell us, that Jalen Tolbert guy did lead the team in touchdown receptions. There's a lot of reasons for that.
Exactly.
And he had 7. But getting a healthy CeeDee Lamb, a healthy Dak, you add in a George Pickens, you've drastically improved your running back room. This Cowboys team should be so much better next year, yet when you look at the schedule comes out and the Vegas has their win-loss totals that you could bet on today, they've got the Cowboys at 7.5, and that surprises me. I look at last year as a bit of a one-off, a blip, knowing that this group had 3 straight years of 12-5 seasons. Yes, I know the playoff disappointments are there, and I'm not glossing over that by any stretch, but to think last year with all the injuries that they had, some more severe seemingly than others, and CD would fall into that category. You expect a bounce back year, maybe not to 12 wins, but 7.5 just seems so odd, almost disrespectful.
Well, it does seem low. It does seem low, and it seems like an easy bet, doesn't it? And every time it seems like an easy bet, it doesn't turn out to be that way. I think there's a lot of question marks on this team. Defensively, I think more so than on the offense, just simply because how are guys going to come back? What's Trayvon Diggs' scenario? You already mentioned DeMarvion Overshown. What's his status? When will he be back? And when he comes back, how will he be? And you've got others. Mozzie Smith. Is he ever going to play like a number 1 draft pick? So I think more of the question marks are on the defensive side of the football than they are the offensive side, because I think the Cowboys have done a good job of giving Dak some pieces. They've drafted the offensive lineman in Booker. Will he be okay? And so there's a lot there. I think that there's some questions. But 7.5 still seems awfully low.
And again, when you look at defensively, Dante Fowler, bringing him back, that should help Micah Parsons. Overshown, as you said, is a question. Hurt. Diggs, how long will it be for Diggs to get back, and is he close to what he was? That becomes a big question. And if he can, because then the kid that you drafted, same thing, coming off of an injury, how's he going to be? So, but some of those other guys, Lauafau and whatnot, this defense may end up better if they can get healthy by October. Might end up being better than what we're thinking they are right now. And, hopefully they're ready for the opener in September. But, some of those you can't really count on yet. It seems too early to say when they're going to be ready. And I'm looking at you, Diggs. But, at the same time, the one-year guys that they brought in prove it. They certainly feel like even if they're not great, they're upgrades over what was there last year. And because depth was such an issue, and quite frankly, I'm excited to see what Eberflus can do with this defense, because there was a major drop-off defensively last year under Mike Zimmer, and it almost felt like Mike McCarthy's first year when he had, Mike Nolan as the defensive coordinator, and that was just a disaster. Then they bring in Dan Quinn, and you saw that immediate turnaround defensively. Zimmer was a disappointment defensively. Eberflus, I know he sucked as a head coach for the Chicago Bears, but prior to that, his defenses were always solid. And what he did, especially with linebackers while in Dallas and then Indianapolis, was certainly impressive. So just how much does the addition of Eberflus to the staff help that defense?
I want to see what he does with Micah Parsons. He's already said he's going to play him in multiple spots. He is a pass rusher, though, primarily, so I think he'll do that most of the time. But I think they'll move him around a little bit, and I think they should. And I think Micah wants that to happen. So I'm going to watch that. But, yeah, if the questions in my mind are more so on the defensive side of the ball. If the offense scores, are they going to be how the Dallas Cowboys used to be, especially under Tony Romo, where you got to score 35 points to win a game 35-32. I don't think it will be that bad, Jason. I really don't, but I hope not. So we'll see what Eberflus can do with that defense. But when you're talking about the 7.5, I just think it's Vegas with the questions. But again, if I was in Vegas today, right now, I'd put money on the over right now, because it just seems like disrespectful. Maybe that's not it, but it just seems low.
It seems low, and it seems like easy money, which, again, and you're talking about Vegas, you're going to question that because they're in business to make money. At the same time, you factor in history. I mean, facts are what they are.
Yeah.
If Dak Prescott stays healthy, and let's face it, everybody's making these assumptions on a healthy team. Everybody picked to go to the Super Bowl. They've got to stay healthy. I think we can all say that, because if anybody loses a key player, they're especially early, they're likely going in the toilet. So assuming Dak Prescott is healthy, his history says when he has played in 12 or more games, they've never had a losing season. They've missed the playoffs twice when he's played 12 or more games under Jason Garrett. But if he stays healthy and plays at least 12 games, they're going to have a winning record. I mean, history says that, right? So to think that they wouldn't get 10, and let's face it, 17 games, 10 wins isn't the same as what it used to be.
Not at all.
You kind of feel like 12 wins, you're in the playoffs. 10 wins, all right, it's nice. But to think that, if that number was 9.5, I'd feel, all right, that seems about right, because that feels like the Mendoza line. Are they a 10-win team? 9.5, I think in Vegas they're trying to get action either way. But who's taking the under? Like only 7 wins for the Cowboys? They got 7 with Cooper Rush at quarterback for the majority of the season last year.
I can't imagine. And look, by the time we get to Vegas in August, that line may be up to 8, 8.5. That could very well be, just simply because of what you said, especially if there's a run on the over in that thing. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. That is for sure. Hey, we're at the Lion and Rose, the I-10 Dominion location. You can come out here as well. Happy hour is underway as we speak. Come on out here, because they got some great deals. $2.50 for a glass of domestic beer, draft beer. You got to come out and check that out. Plus, they've got well drinks for $5, imports for $5. $5. Select wine for $6, and all kinds of $5 appetizers out here as well. Come on out to the Lion and Rose, the I-10 Dominion location. We are waiting for you because that's where we are here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Golf Club of Texas, the weekend is here. It's a Memorial Day weekend as well, 3-day weekend. And again, the sacrifice of all of those soldiers that made this possible and made this holiday for sure. We want to thank them, but because of their sacrifice, you can go out and play golf on Monday. Most of you aren't working, and the best place to do that is the Golf Club of Texas. What they have done with that golf course is simply fantastic. They have improved that golf course immensely. It's unbelievable what they've done. Brand new golf cart paths all over the place. They've resodded the entire golf course, but they put in these xeriscape areas all over the golf course that just makes it that much more attractive. And they've got brand new tee markers too, which are pretty awesome. The Tin Cup Bar and Restaurant, it is fantastic out there. Look, you go out there, you have some drinks, you have some food, all of that kind of stuff, either before or after you play golf, or both. Heck, they don't care. Whatever you want, any kind of cocktail you want. They got lots of beer choices as well. Tin Cup Bar and Grill is a fantastic place. The Golf Club of Texas is a fantastic place. If you haven't been out there lately, you have not been out there. Go check it out. You know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether it's for dinner at the Tin Cup or around with your buddies, your next tournament, you got to go check them out. Best rates always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
10-yard line, touchdown Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers with back taxes to the IRS. Billions in tax relief is now being made available to struggling taxpayers, giving thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars in savings away to those who qualify. If you're facing wage garnishment, threatening letters, audits, liens, levies, or already in a payment plan, you can now expedite the resolution to your tax problem, end collections, and even qualify to reduce a large portion of what you owe. Stop IRS Debt has established a relief hotline for you to call to check what savings and options you qualify for. Dial 800-298-7182. With many people facing job loss and rising cost of living, these special IRS initiatives are designed to aid delinquent taxpayers with the relief that they need to get a fresh start. For a free consultation to see what savings you qualify for, call 800-298-7182. 800-298-7182. 800-298-7182.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice, no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, summer is our season, and we're kicking it off with free smoothies. Wear your flip-flops, head into your local cafe, and join the free smoothie party for National Flip-Flop Day on Wednesday, May 28th from 2 to 7 p.m. Start your summer with a refreshing and free 12-ounce sunrise sunset smoothie. Yeah, it's really that easy. Summer is here at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. It's tropic time. Terms and conditions apply.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Hey San Antonio, this is Kelly Finglass, Senior Director of the world-famous Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Don't miss your chance to see our all-new theater production, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Tour. A night of dazzling performances, electrifying dance routines, a Q&A session, and even a live audition. We're coming to you for one night only, May 25th at the Majestic Theater. Tickets are limited, so go to DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/tour to learn more today.
During National Military Appreciation Month, we at University of Maryland Global Campus say thank you to the service members, veterans, and families who dedicate their lives to our country. We are deeply grateful. For over 75 years, UMGC has proudly served the military community, from installations overseas to the communities you call home. Wherever you serve, we stand with you. Learn more at umgc.edu/thanks. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ, JOEQ, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
We've got NBA playoff basketball tonight. It is game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Pacers stole game 1 in Madison Square Garden in overtime. New York looking to even things up before they head out to Indianapolis. Tip-off tonight is set for 7 o'clock. We're going to get you started at 6:30 right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Thunder, they look unbeatable right now. Took a 2-0 lead over the T-Wolves last night. Game 3 tomorrow.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Happy Friday, everybody. And if you're getting off work, congratulations. You have made it through the week. It is 5 o'clock or a little after 5. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is here as well, and we are at the Lion and Rose, the I-10 Dominion location, and we're having a great time. And it looks like folks are getting off work, starting their Memorial Day weekend, their 3-day weekend off right with us here at the Lion and Rose, I-10 Dominion location. This is a great place.
It really is. Great happy hour specials, which are still in effect. So come happy hour with us. And again, it's the start of a long holiday weekend and a brand new location for the Lion and Rose, which glad that it's back in the city. And,
absolutely.
Great bar and the food and the atmosphere. And, you know, every good sports bar has to have a lot of TVs, and they certainly have that.
Oh, they got TVs all over the place. Yeah, that is for sure. Plus, they've got happy hour specials. Happy hour is underway. We're right in the middle of it. $2.50 draft beer. They've also got a bunch of $5 appetizers out here that are going on right now. You got $5 well drinks. Imports are $5. They've got some wine that's $6. Mimosa for $4. Come on out here and start your long Memorial Day weekend with us here at the Lion and Rose, I-10, the Dominion location. This is a great place, and we're here. So that makes it even that much more attractive, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Well, and you figure, you know, tonight's one of those nights where you can go out. Because at some point this weekend, you know, typical the Memorial Day, the unofficial start of summer, you're going to fire up your grill. You're going to be grilling something this weekend. I know I started prepping a brisket earlier today that will go on the smoker here in several hours.
Don't screw that up.
Yeah,
right, by the way,
dude, isn't that the crazy thing with briskets? You realize,
especially briskets,
what those cost. And this is a Wagyu brisket.
Wow,
14 pounds.
Wow.
You know, just don't screw it up.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I'm pretty good. I'm not worried about. I'm not, what I'm worried about is trying to figure out the timing. You know, so midnight, 1 a.m., several beers in, that's when it will go on, just so I don't have to wake up in the middle of the night to check on it. No, and I don't want to wake up too early in the morning to check on it.
Well, and that's the beauty of the Traeger. You don't have to, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's fantastic. Dude, let me tell you something that just it irritates me, but I want to celebrate it at the same time. The reason it irritates me is because the Spurs aren't in the playoffs. But Tim Duncan, the greatness of Tim Duncan, I think gets away from us sometimes. Not you and I necessarily, but maybe new Spurs fans. On this date, back in 2003, Tim Duncan, 34 points, 24 rebounds, 6 blocked shots as the San Antonio Spurs defeated the Dallas Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals, 96-83. And those are gaudy numbers.
They are. And I was there. You were there.
Yep.
And it was just a ho-hum Tim Duncan game.
Yeah.
And that's how that is how Tim Duncan played. When you think about, I can't tell you how many games where you go, damn, Tim's got what?
Yeah.
I mean, because he just was so methodical about it. So, I don't know. Manu every game did something like, holy crap, what'd that dude just do? I've never seen that before. And Tim was just out there dominating, but in such a way it wasn't like watching a SGA or a Jalen Brunson or, for that matter, a Joker, another big guy. Tim just went to work and he just worked everybody.
I tell you what, the guy was fantastic. And you're right. You would look up and you'd say, what, Tim Duncan's got what? Because it was just so methodical. And it wasn't flashy, and it was fantastic. But I saw that and I'm like, man, I wish the Spurs were back in the finals, but Tim Duncan, his greatness should be shouted from the mountaintops.
The reality is, and I don't know if you saw this, because I read this last night after I got home, and it was one of those stories I was mad I didn't see it before our show because it would have been a part of it. But Michael Jordan's agent, the great David Falk, somewhere was talking about Michael Jordan being the GOAT, and there really is no debate. If Michael Jordan would have done what LeBron has done and just picked and choose some super teams, he'd have had 15 trophies. And, and it's interesting because Michael Jordan is a GOAT. Tim Duncan is in that conversation, yet LeBron wants to be the GOAT and talks about himself as the GOAT status. And I look at Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan doesn't have to tell me he's great for me to know he's great.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know I'm crapping on LeBron right now, but
sorry, go ahead.
It seems important to LeBron to be considered the GOAT. And that to me is just very un-GOAT-like.
Yes,
when I think about what David Falk said, I know he wasn't meaning to trash LeBron, or I don't feel that way, but Michael Jordan doesn't ever come out and said, yeah, I'm the GOAT. Call me the GOAT, right? Does he have an ego? Yes, he does. And should he? Has he earned it? All of that. But it's funny when you think about people in the GOAT conversation. And to me, there's one GOAT, and it's Michael Jordan. But to your point on Tim Duncan just kind of flying under the radar, Tim Duncan's greatness doesn't get talked about near enough when people are talking about the greats of the game. When you're talking about, a Shaquille O'Neal or a Kobe Bryant or you name the list, it is interesting when you don't hear Timmy's name. And Tim is cool with that. He doesn't give a damn.
He doesn't
Tim
care.
Does not give a damn. But at the same time, as a Spur fan, and as a Tim Duncan fan, it pisses me off when I don't hear him included in those conversations. But to your point, how many games did we watch that were just typical Timmy games that we didn't appreciate in the moment?
We didn't. And I think it's up to us and all Spurs fans that were blessed enough to be able to watch Tim Duncan operate and to make sure that everybody knows how great he was, because he wasn't flashy. He didn't cause any problems. He didn't, bring attention to himself like some players do. And it's the guy is just fantastic. And I tell you what, and I know you feel the same way, having the opportunity to watch him up close the way we were able to do that. It's just something we should never forget, and I don't think that I ever will. It's incredible. You bring up LeBron James and Michael Jordan. I heard a debate today that LeBron, his agent came out, and Rich Paul, and said, look, he doesn't have any idea what LeBron's going to do, whether he's going to come back or whether he's not. And there was somebody that said, well, he should come back so he can have a farewell tour. Michael Jordan never got that and never wanted that. So why in the world do we feel obligated to give LeBron James a farewell tour? I know he's a great player, and I'm not dismissing that, but why does he deserve it when some of the other greats don't?
One, you got to rephrase that question.
All right.
Why does he deserve it? And do we as fans have to? No, I think you got to look at it completely different. Has he earned it? Absolutely. Does he want it? That becomes the question. And there are some players out there that want it. And LeBron might want it. When you announce your retirement, this is my last year, and we've seen this in sports, and people go somewhere and you get all the weird gifts and the rocking chairs and the motorcycles and all those different things. I think some players crave that. I've got one more year. I want to be showered with love. One thing, though, with LeBron, and I do think it's a sign of the times, and I'm going to defend LeBron here. He grew up in a social media era. I could you imagine if Michael had to deal with Twitter and social media, knowing Michael, the way he is, and the way he played and the way he lived life, if he had to do that like LeBron. And so I do think that's part of the world that we live in today, and LeBron has been a part of that. And to get celebrated going out, I have no problem if a player decides that they want that. This is my last year. This is what I'm going to do. Does he deserve it? Sure. He's the second greatest basketball player, and for the last 2 decades has been the face of the league. So he has earned that if he chooses to do that. Other guys, I remember, and it was in my Facebook memories a couple weeks ago, taking a picture, and my picture on Facebook said something like, I hope this isn't the last time I see Tim Duncan walk off the court, because we didn't know. And it was. He didn't want a farewell tour. No, and we knew that Tim Duncan wouldn't want that. Does it surprise you that LeBron might want that?
No, it doesn't.
But has he earned it? Yes. And every team, his last game there would be a celebration. And let's face it, everywhere LeBron goes, no matter how many jerseys that guy has worn, people become fans of that team and buy that jersey because it's LeBron James.
Look, I just said, if he wants it, great. But if that's the reason that he comes back, just to get those accolades, look, he's going to get it.
He's going to get $52 million.
He's going to get in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's LeBron. And I get it. It's hard. We sit here and say $52 million, but to LeBron, I don't know. Is that a lot of money? Dude's a billionaire and will continue to be a billionaire after he's done playing basketball, because he'll do some things and he'll make more money, just like Michael Jordan has done. But look, I don't know. To me, that's just all ego. And I get it. If you say he deserves it, I can't argue that. He does. He's a great player. But I just, to come back for that reason. Now, the Lakers have got some work to do. I know they've got Luka Doncic, but I don't think they're a team that anybody's going to pencil in as heading to the NBA Finals next year unless they make some changes, and I'm not sure they can do that. But I just think LeBron, look, dude, you're already a great player. You're a Hall of Famer, and it's going to happen. And just be enough with that. If that's the reason you're coming back, that's nothing but pure ego.
If that's the sole reason, I agree with you. If you feel like you can still compete at a high level, and this year he did at his age, which is incredible, and you feel like you're helping a team try to win, and you get a farewell tour, sure. But if you're just coming back for flowers, you can go on tour. You could show up at every game and do something to stroke your ego. But all those guys have massive egos. I mean, there's a commercial right now for Mission Impossible. You think Tom Cruise showed up in San Antonio yesterday, went to Dallas last night for what? Stroke his ego.
He wants to sell tickets.
He's selling tickets either way. I mean, he can go on a couple of shows. He doesn't have to come to town.
No, he doesn't.
But he wants to draw the crowd and get the excitement and stroke his ego a little bit. Oh, my God, Tom Cruise is here.
Well, he also did a nice thing for the soldiers out at Fort Sam, too.
Yes, he did. And
providing buses to take them to the theater.
And he could have done that without letting the media know.
He could have. He could have done that. Farewell, or fair enough. Farewell. Either way, LeBron, farewell, buddy. I wonder who John Machoda's most beloved Cowboy today is. He's got to have one, right? Well, we'll ask him when he joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. By the way, we are live at Lion and Rose, the I-10 Dominion location. Come on out and see us. Everybody here is enjoying. They're starting the Memorial Day weekend here with us. Happy hour specials still going on. Come out and see us.
And again, great place to come watch tonight's games, whether you're looking at Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, Game 2 in hockey, Stars, Oilers. You got WNBA baseball, and you know what? You can watch all those games and pay a little more attention if you've and add excitement if you're playing on underdog. The leading place, one of the leading places to make all your sports picks. Great app with over 100,000 five-star reviews. I'm looking at the game tonight, and Jalen Brunson, higher, 30.5 points. Would you go higher or lower? Tyrese Halliburton is at 20.5 points. Would you go higher or lower? You make your picks and your selections, higher or lower, and build your pick-em entry. Play for as little as $1. You could win up to 1,000 times your money. So download the Underdog app. Sign up with promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, download the Underdog app. Get signed up with promo code STAR.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a personal injury attorney, and since 1994, I've been helping people and their families seriously injured or killed by negligent drivers. My website is alawyer4us.com. I use that phrase because I know that there's no way a regular San Antonian can possibly beat a billion-dollar insurance company alone. You will need an experienced attorney to stand up for you and get what you and your family deserve. This month, my father will retire after 50 years of practicing law, doing what he taught me to do, help people in need. Stand up for the people that cannot. Use the skills you have to help the people in your community win and where you can. When an insured driver seriously injures someone, a billion-dollar insurance company uses everything it can to pay as little as possible. Every insurance company you have heard of has a very large staff of attorneys already working against you. If you or a family member has been seriously injured because of a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson, as soon as you can after a collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyer4us.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Progressive knows there are two things RV owners love: to travel and relax. And they like to take both nice and slow. Just like this commercial. And what's more relaxing than the peace of mind knowing their RV is protected by Progressive? Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Lion and Rose, Dominion, I-10. That's where we are till 6 o'clock tonight. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Jason Minix, I'm Joe Reinagel, and we are always fortunate to speak with the great John Machoda from The Athletic, joining us now via the Buyers Barricades guest line. And John, I've got a question for you. we had a, I wouldn't say debate, but we're asking from this current team right now, the roster as assembled, who is the most beloved Dallas Cowboy?
Wow, that's a good one. That is a good one. I'm not going to say he's number one, but Brandon Aubrey is in the mix. He's one of the few Cowboys that hasn't really done anything wrong in a big moment. So, I don't think it's by some major margin, but I would say, for me, it still is Dak Prescott. I think he's the most likable. I think he's the most likely that if you're going to buy your kid a jersey, it would probably be him. And so while I know that there's a lot of, whatever you want to call it, Dak haters or whatever, because he hasn't had the postseason success, I still think that he's probably the most beloved because of, he's a franchise quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys and has been doing it now going on a decade. So, it's not by a huge margin over Micah and CD, but I think it's Dak.
It's interesting because Dak and Micah seem to have such a split fan base. I went CD Lamb with Brandon Aubrey there as a close second. But it is kind of interesting. You're talking about America's team, and a couple of years ago, I think the answer would have been easily maybe a Zeke or a Zach Martin. But with this group, the fact that there is a debate, I find very interesting.
Yeah, that's true because, I don't know, I just always lean to the quarterback because I think that's always the one that the fans gravitate to the most. And so whether it was Dak or Romo before, but yeah, it's a good point. The other thing is, though, it comes down to is just they haven't had that postseason success because any of the people that you just named, if they came up big in January, that person would catapult to the number one spot, no doubt. If Micah Parsons put him on his back and, he had, 5 or 6 sacks in 4 postseason games, and it led them to the Super Bowl. He would walk on water in Dallas. But you can kind of, you're just going back to that Green Bay playoff loss. Like you can kind of put a little bit of blame on everybody, and I just think that that's what'll be the thing that separates is can they get postseason success, and if they do that, then things will change, and then maybe it changes from Dak, but I still just give him a slight edge.
Well, CD Lamb went up in my book, John, and I'll tell you why. He comes out and says, I didn't realize he was as hurt as he was last year and still played at the level that he played at. And for me, that puts him up a notch or two in my book.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He had a legitimate shoulder injury. There's no question. And especially the fact that he kept playing when there really wasn't a ton left to play for with Dak being out for the rest of the season. And the odds of them making the playoffs are pretty slim. And even if they did make the playoffs, how far were they really going to go? But yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, I've never thought he was thin, but I also have never thought he was like a huge receiver either. And he plays a physical brand of football. He is not a soft receiver by any stretch of the imagination. So, and then the other part of it too, just in the last, week and a half, I think he's done a good job handling anytime he's been asked about the addition of George Pickens because, wide receiver is just one of those positions that you can't say that's the case every single time. These guys want the spotlight, they want the football. And when you add a George Pickens, while it'll help some of the coverage CD gets, it's probably also going to take away some of his targets.
Absolutely. John Machoda from The Athletic joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Now, since he's become a Cowboy, George Pickens has said all the right things, as you just mentioned. CD, we're both number ones, and until the games actually start, we'll see if it's 1-2 or 1A, 1B, but overall, your impressions of George Pickens and what little you were able to see during the OTAs this week.
Yeah, he looks every bit of that 6'3", whatever 200 he's listed at. There's no doubt about that. He's a bigger receiver, and you can see that out there. And that was the thing. I mean, it's still early, but to watch that first team, do team drills, obviously not, full pads or anything like that, but just see them line up. You can just see in that passing game the problems that they're going to cause for opposing defenses when you have CeeDee Lamb out there on one side, George Pickens on the other, and then even they did some 4 wide sets with Tolbert and Turpin, and there's just, and then obviously Jake Ferguson in at tight end. I mean, that's just a lot of weapons that I don't think that there's going to be any issues with the passing game. What I keep going back to is that if I'm facing this Cowboys team tomorrow, I'm just going 2 deep safeties. You're not going to beat me over the top. I want to see you try and run against me. And if you can't, we'll do enough to bracket and take away Pickens and CD. But you're going to have some very advantageous boxes for your running backs to run in. So if they can't do that, that's where you can see some problems possibly on Sundays, where you're not getting the targets to your receivers that want targets. You're not running the ball well, and you're not winning. So that's the issue. That's when we'll really know where everything's at, is when that happens.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, John, for sure. Look, Jason's been giving me a hard time about this, but I was clearly surprised by Dak Prescott moving around as well as he is. Am I the only one that was surprised by that?
No, I mean, I'll agree with you. I was too. I didn't think he would do as much as he did. I don't know if it's necessarily the movement as much as just I thought he would be a lot more limited. And he was out there doing everything. I mean, I'm sure there was a snap or two and a certain drill that he did less than he normally would. But just from if you just walked out there and nobody had told you he was coming off of a season-ending hamstring injury that needed surgery, there's nothing that you would have seen from him that would make you think that that he was coming back from anything. So that was a surprise to me. I thought he would be limited. I thought that, we'd see him do a little bit more in mini camp and then he'd be ready to go for the start of training camp, but he looked like the same old Dak. And who knows, maybe he got a little jolt from the Pickens deal too, where he was like, no, you guys gave me another toy to play with. I want to be out there.
It's a possibility. Although the way Joe reacted the other day was like, dude, did you think his leg was getting amputated and he was going to be out there on a scooter next year? I mean, it has been a long time since the surgery, but we'll see. Now, the pep from the Pickens trade, all this talk from Brian Schottenheimer. Now, granted, he still has to win football games, but so far, everything he said about trying to change the culture and the different competitive things they're doing as a group and taking guys to dinner and getting to know them, changing the culture, he seems to be validating Jerry's decision to hire him. Again, it's May. He still has to win football games. But has it been noticeable to you guys when you're there, a difference in just the feeling inside the building?
So I'll say this. The part that's kind of surprised me is I thought that we'd noticed some changes in Schottenheimer, the OC and coaching assistant from the previous 3 years, now that he's the head coach. And I haven't seen that. So he is saying very authentic and genuine to himself now that he's the head coach. I think that's a good thing, because certainly I believe us that have followed the team for a long time would see through some of that, but no doubt the players would. So that's because they're around him more. So that's been a big home run for him. I mean, he's totally knocked that part of it out of the park. In terms of from the team, I can't say. I mean, really, we haven't been around them enough for me to feel like that I've definitely seen a difference. I mean, really, it's only been one OTA practice and then obviously rookie minicamp and some stuff like that. But it seems like the guys are bought into it. But there's also a lot of new pieces. I mean, when you're in that locker room, there's a lot of Kyer Elams and Solomon Thomases and Tyler Bookers, and they've definitely done some shuffling of the locker room, and so I think that it would take me a little bit longer. I'd have to get through training camp, at least a week or so, for me to say that I definitely see a difference in the team. I just see a team that is kind of hungry to get back out there, and they're coming off of a season where it obviously was a huge disappointment because the 3 previous seasons were all 12-win seasons in the playoffs, and so I don't know it's just because of Schottenheimer, but I just get the sense that this group is ready to go and can't wait for that first ball game in Philadelphia.
John Machoda of The Athletic joining us here on the Blitz. And John, I've got to ask, Jerry Jones comes out and talks tough again when it comes to Micah Parsons' contract, saying he's under contract. Keep that in mind. That's typical Jerry Jones. He seemed to say the same thing about Dak and CD. And I know you've been saying you don't expect anything to happen until training camp, but is it possible that Jerry would play tough and say you're under contract and then maybe franchise this guy? Is that a possibility?
Absolutely. There's absolutely that's on the table. I don't think Micah wants to do that, and so I think that things will get. I don't know if ugly is the right word, but I'll just say ugly. Maybe early in training camp if he's not out there, and whether it be through Jerry saying stuff, because obviously he'll talk when he's out there, or it be that Micah is frustrated, and we certainly know he knows how he can get his message out, and whether that be at Jerry or his own agent, who knows? There's a lot of cards that can be played here, but I don't think you can say it's 100% that he'll have a new contract by whatever it would be. I think July 21st, 22nd might be their first practice. There's no guarantee. I think that that was where I would bet that's the most likely time that something will get done. But no, Jerry absolutely could play hardball where he's like, no, if you don't want to do this deal, we think we're offering you a fair deal. Then we'll pay you. We'll let you play this season out, and we'll franchise tag you. And I don't think that Micah wants to go through that. I don't think his agent wants to go through that. I mean, the thing with Dak doing that stuff, like the shelf life for an NFL quarterback is certainly longer than an elite edge rusher. And so for me, I don't think that it's not just about this contract. I mean, I think about this a lot with like Cooper Flagg being 19, getting a rookie deal. It's not just about your rookie deal. It's about how quick can you get to that next deal. And so I don't think that Micah wants to be doing another franchise tag, pushing his next monster deal off another season. He wants to get that as soon as possible. And I think that's probably what will end up getting this thing done. But no, there is a chance. There is absolutely a chance that we go into week one and Micah does not have a new contract.
It's going to be interesting. John Machoda from The Athletic. Before we let you go, I got two knucklehead questions for you. The first one, in practices this week with Schottenheimer now the play calling offensive coordinator / head coach, is Dak Prescott still saying, "Here we go," before the snap of a ball?
I did not hear that. Now, I will say that when they do stuff out at the Star, they do what I would call the interesting stuff as far away from the media as possible. So, but I did not notice that. And then the other reason why I didn't is because the music is cranked up way louder than it's been. Like Jason Garrett played music. Mike McCarthy was not a big music guy at all. And then you can tell Schottenheimer's all about cranking it up and having high energy. So I didn't notice it as much. So I'm thinking that there's a possibility that maybe that's out.
All right. I mean, we play the "Here we go" drop a lot, and we were talking about earlier. I wonder if it's going to go away.
Here we go.
So, I mean, there you go. I mean, we'll here we go away. Second knucklehead question. I know you're a Michigan guy. Are you bought in on the Dallas Stars playoff run?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's funny because being from Michigan, people think I like hockey. I actually don't like hockey at all. But it's hard for me not to be, I'm not a fan. I'm certainly not a fan. I would not put it that way, but it's easy for me to admire what they're doing. And they've been just a really solid organization for a long time now. And so I really like Pete DeBoer, whenever he does his local radio interviews down here and stuff like that, he sounds like he'd be a great guy to play for. And then just, they've been aggressive and some of the moves they've made, you're just kind of like, yeah, you'd like to see the Cowboys do a little bit more of that. But yeah, I would be fascinated. I think they got a good chance to win it all, and it will be interesting because that would make it then, since I've lived down here, that I would have seen 3 out of the 4 franchises win a championship. But there's one that stands out that hasn't been able to do it.
Yeah, they have not been able to do it. There's always this year, John.
Yeah.
Who knows, right?
Sure.
John Machoda with The Athletic. Follow him on Twitter at John Machoda, Jon Machoda. John, we appreciate it. Enjoy your long weekend, my friend.
I will. You guys do the same.
We will. John Machoda with The Athletic joining us via the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades providing traffic control rentals and sales to San Antonio and beyond.
Now, John, good honest answer on hockey. We've got a poll up on our YouTube question, and there's some stuff going on in the YouTube chat. I even had to write in there, if you kids don't knock it off, we're going to turn the car around. There's a fight in the chat, but there is more importantly a poll. Simple question in the YouTube chat at San Antonio Sports Star, if you search that on YouTube, or on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Menix, at SA Sports Star. Simple question. Are you following along with the Dallas Stars through their playoff run? Yes or no? We're just curious. If serious hockey fan, casual hockey fan, it's the Dallas Stars. Are you paying attention?
Yep, go vote on that. And, oh, by the way, we're starting a 3-day weekend.
We are.
We're starting a 3-day weekend. Did you know that?
Everybody knows
3-day
that.
week. Okay, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Well, you need to know that, especially if you're caller number 7 and can go to Dallas for the Cardinals-Rangers game 1 week from today, May 30th. The Blitz will be broadcasting live from Globe Life Field next Friday. If you can go to Dallas and you want those tickets, be the 7th caller right now with that keyword I just said. Do it right now, 656-3776, 656-ES. We'll continue here from Lion and Rose, the I-10 Dominion location, when the Blitz continues here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And I'm going to guess when we're out there at the Rangers-Cardinals game next Friday, because Joe's like, I can't wear Cardinal gear because we're there broadcasting. We're the Rangers affiliate. He's probably going to wear a nice golf shirt with the 94.1 logo on it. That came from Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Whether you need that logo on a golf shirt, fishing shirt, dress shirt, any kind of shirt, Sam will get you taken care of. Need T-shirt, screen printed, go see Sam. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, just waiting for your logo. And he's got all the popular cap brands like the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie Caps, Nike Cap America, and they are in stock. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands. No order too big, certainly no order too small. So call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, sun-tanned or sunburnt, smell the coconut oil, and talking basketball. Get here early. The summer is beginning. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Hey guys, are you or your spouse looking to lose weight in time for summer? Head over to any Synergenics or Low T Center for prescription weight loss treatment options. If you qualify for treatment, you can get a free B12 shot when you start. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B28.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATS.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
If you're looking to up your beer game, Carbach has you covered. From Hopadillo to Crawford Bock to Ziegenbach to their bestseller, the Love Street, there's something for everybody in the lineup, and you can find it anywhere. Next time you're out and about, ask your bartender to make it a Carbach.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it.
but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. In-store only. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. We had so much fun last week, we're doing it again. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up once more to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends. More big-time artists than at Texas Tailgate during rodeo season. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th, right up the road in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Fade, and a whole mess of other artists turning up Zilker Park into the biggest backyard party in Texas. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz all this week for another shot to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We'll crown one lucky winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, 3-day ACL wristbands. Now, that's a South Texas trifecta. Grand Slam in the bottom of the 9th. Want to skip the contest and buy your way in? Head to aclfest.com. But we say, why pay when you can win? With 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, what are you doing over there with your camera, sir?
I'm trying to put it on the computer here. Is that what you wanted?
No,
it's over there.
No, it's just on yours. I was going to do that with mine.
Oh, look at that.
Here we go. I mean,
can I make that bigger? That's what she said.
How did I know you were going to go right there?
Hey, everybody. Hey, this is the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And
what are you doing?
I don't know. I don't have a clue here. Look at that. I got it, right? No,
Put your
small.
camera back. I'm going to do that because I've got the wheel over here.
Oh, we didn't rehearse this, man.
We kind of did.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Well, I forgot.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Joe. He's Jason. Edwin Hafner here with us today, too. So who knew?
Loyal listener, Ben Brasino. He's been hanging out here at the Lion and Rose. It's nothing but water cups over there.
Of course.
Yes. He's like, all right, I got to go. And said, had told you to have a good weekend, told me to have a good weekend. Then he kind of tapped the table. Have a good weekend, Edwin. And he left. He called grumpy-ass Greg Shelton Edwin.
Well,
and you're getting a kick out of it because so many people call you Bill Taylor.
Dude, I think it's funny as hell. I love it. This is great. Are you kidding me? I'm having a great time with that. Yeah. You know, I haven't seen Greg laugh, and he actually laughed at that.
He has smiled today, and he has laughed now a couple of times.
Oh, that is so funny. Lion and Rose is where we are. You still got time to come out of here. If you can't get out here before we leave, look, there's TVs all over the place. You got NBA basketball and Dallas Stars hockey.
Yes.
Coming up tonight that you can watch out here.
Go Stars. Now, if you're on our YouTube page, go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. There is a poll question up about hockey, Stars hockey. Simple yes or no. Are you following the Stars playoff run? And also you can watch us spin the wheel of death. Is that what we're calling this?
Wheel of death.
The wheel of death, because we've got 3-day ACL wristbands that we are going to give away. All week we took 5 qualifiers, got somebody qualified every day. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see how this works. Miguel, Corey, Rodney, Michael, and David, all their names are on the wheel. And I'm going to spin the wheel, and the first one that pops up, you're eliminated. And so we're going to do this until we get a winner. So spinning the wheel.
Here we go.
The first wheel is scrolling through, and the first loser is Corey.
Corey.
Yeah, Corey. So you see how the wheel of death works? It says, Corey, you've been eliminated, and you get removed. And so now there are 4 names on the wheel, and we'll spin it one more time.
This is fun.
No, it really is. Rodney is the second loser. And Rodney, it says you have been eliminated. We're down to 3. David, Michael, and Miguel. And I'm glad we have music for this.
This is great.
David, you have been eliminated by the Wheel of Death. We are down to 2. Miguel and Michael. 3-day weekend 2 ACL wristbands. The spin is going, and Michael, you have been eliminated. That means there's one name left, and that is Miguel A. Martinez Jr.
Wow.
Congratulations, Miguel. You win 3-day ACL wristbands for weekend 2. Very cool. That was fun.
I love that. I love doing it that way instead of just spinning and you get a winner. You got to survive the wheel of death. That's what makes it so good. Surviving the wheel of death.
And for everybody that says, well, we never get to see it, how do we really know? Ain't no conspiracy theory here. There's no frozen envelopes. There's none of that stuff. It's just, the cool little gadget that
Absolutely. And Miguel is on our YouTube page now, and he says, woohoo!
Oh, is he really?
That's what he said.
Oh, very cool.
How about that?
Yeah, somebody from the YouTube crew won.
The YouTube crew. How about that? Congratulations.
Has the fight stopped on YouTube?
I don't know. There was a little argument going on in there, wasn't there?
It was getting bad. Even Alexandra pulled out her mom voice.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Wow.
We're going to take somebody out back in.
I wouldn't mess with Alexandra.
No.
I really wouldn't. I wouldn't mess with her. She's a nice person, but I have a feeling if you make her mad, she might get kind of mean.
Can't you say that about everybody?
Well, especially women. Right?
I wasn't going to say that, but it was implied.
Say, she knows what I'm talking about.
A lady next to us about to hit you.
Yeah, well, women have this dark side. And if you make them mad, they get vicious. Vicious. I'm telling you.
Well, they've got all the power, sir.
Well, they do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, they do. I was going to say something, but
I can't repeat what she just said.
No?
Holy cow, I cannot repeat what she just said.
I want to know.
No. Well.
What do you mean no?
Well, because I like my job.
Oh, she looks such a nice, innocent. I can't believe that.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Will you write it down on a piece of paper? I want to know.
It's 5:48. You can ask yourself in 7 minutes.
Okay, I will.
If you'll remember in 7 minutes. The question is, will you remember?
I don't know.
7 minutes?
I don't know.
The poll question is kind of interesting. Are you following the Dallas Stars playoff run? And you got about 7 more minutes to go vote. But right now, it is 55 to 45 of no with 78 votes. Much more lopsided over on the Twitter poll. Let me pull that up real quick. It's 63% no, 36% yes.
Look, our YouTube poll's closer than I thought.
Yeah.
The Twitter poll seems to be about right about what I thought. Look, it's just not a hockey town. But I think the fact that the Dallas Stars are involved, I think people are interested in that. And they've got a legit shot again to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. And so I think people are into it. And you've got me into it. I guarantee you I'm going to watch some of that tonight. I will check it out, see what all the buzz is all about.
And it's interesting because you look at the Dallas Stars and big game tonight, game 2. Edmonton probably has the best player in hockey on their team in Connor McDavid. He's that guy. He's the LeBron James. He's whatever you want to call it, right? They dominated the first 2 periods in game 1. They were up 3-1. And in the third period in game 1, Dallas came out. They got a quick goal, 3-2. Okay, this is interesting. Then they tied it up, and then like 2 minutes later, they went ahead 4-3. They ended up winning 6-3. 5 unanswered goals in the third period. Just an incredible period of hockey. Dallas historically struggles in game ones for whatever reason, and then they turn it on and they win series. And they've done that again this postseason. Over their 3-year run of going to the Western Conference Finals, they've done that. So to get game one was, quite honestly, a bit of a surprise. Like, I don't think most Stars fans, all right, we're down 0-1. This is what they typically do. Let's go. Coming off that Game 6 overtime win to get to the Western Conference Finals, knocking off the number 1 seed. Vegas had them towards the end of the regular season as the Stanley Cup favorites. And my goodness, they've got a chance to go win the Cup. And I'm just, as a longtime hockey fan, wondering how much where they're at now, but if they were to go to the Stanley Cup, does that help grow the sport in the state of Texas?
Well, look, I think it does. And typically what you just said, haven't the Stars kind of been doing that the entire playoffs, falling behind and coming back? I mean, I know in that first round they had the lead for like 3 minutes in the total. I remember you saying.
Yeah, but they won a couple games in overtime, but in games in which they never led.
Yeah, so I mean that just kind of seems like their MO. They fall behind, then they come back, and that's the way they've been doing it. So look, I think it's exciting. I think the fact that the Stars, if you want to get into hockey, they give you an excuse to do that. I'm going to watch some of that game tonight, and I'll see what all the fuss is about. Kind of switch back and forth between that and the Knicks Pacers game, depending on how that one's going. But
and depending on what your situation is like at the house, if you're watching hockey, you don't have to miss any of the basketball because it will be on game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals right here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. And the big question for that is, how does New York rebound from that collapse in game 1?
Well, I think what they got to play smarter first and foremost. I think Indiana overwhelmed them. And look, New York's got to slow the game down. Indiana wants to run. They want to run. They want to wear you down. They've got more depth than just about anybody, quite frankly. And the fact that the Knicks play about 8 guys, and that's all they do. So they've got to slow the game down. They can't let Indiana run the way they were allowed to run in game 1. If New York wants to win this thing, it's got to be one of those ugly games. They've got to be old school type of old basketball, old 90s style basketball, slow the game down and try to limit Indiana's possessions. If they can do that, I think they can win. If not, then Indiana's going to run them off the floor, and they've got no chance.
No, you think about New York. If they're down 0-2, do you say it's over? Or because they've won some big road games this postseason, do you feel like they still have a chance?
I would say no. Look, I think Indiana, and I said this, and I think you did it too before the series started, Indiana's going to win this series, and I believe that still even more so now that they got game 1. If they go in there and take 2 from the Knicks at Madison Square Garden with that fan base that they're having to deal with, I do. I think it's going to be tough. Now, they may win a game in Indiana, and who knows, it may go 6 games, but this is a game that New York would really like to get, and I think they're going to play like it tonight.
I mean, while it's not a must-win, because I don't want you to blow a gasket on a Friday of a holiday weekend, but they need to have must-win mentality tonight.
They do.
And Jalen Brunson has to have that mentality in the fourth quarter because he is the leader of that team, and he's got to play big and make clutch shots in the fourth quarter when it matters most, when everything is on the line. He needs to channel his inner Tyrese Halliburton.
or just be him because he's pretty damn good. But look, again, to me, they got to slow it down. They got worn out, Jason, in game 1. And Indiana just ran them off the floor. Can't let the Pacers do that. Plus, Indiana had some luck too. All right, let's face it. Aaron Nesmith is probably not going to hit 9 threes again. He might, but I would bet against that. And so they were fortunate, Indiana was, but they also played good defense and didn't allow the Knicks to score on the other end. So that's the way that is. Lion and Rose here, the Dominion I-10 location. It's been great. They've been very good to us, and we really appreciate it. You still got time to come out here because the games are going to be on. Happy hour goes till 7 o'clock, by the way. So if you're looking for happy hour, you still have time to get out here and check them out. Long weekend, Mr. Minix.
Yep, we'll see you Tuesday.
Tuesday is when we will be back. Thank you guys for listening. Congrats to all the winners. We'll see you Tuesday.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz.